working right. If I can make it. Come on now. Alright, that'll do. And let's push this button over here too. And then let me make sure that we've got that in here. Say something, folks.
Something, folks.
Something, folks.
Okay. It's not real. That'll do. Alright,
I know that guy too. Jesus.
So we're back.
I gotta stop.
Wait, what? Yeah,
I
quit
scrolled
it, Sean.
down and I'm like, I know that guy too.
Quit being a snitch. Snitches get stitches.
Good, I need a few.
So when last we left our intrepid investigators, Kevin is running real late apparently, so he'll be late, or I don't know if he'll make it at all, we'll see. When last we left our intrepid investigators, they had, let's see, what's his name? Enos Baldry had burst into the saloon. He was terrified, went and rambled about a story about somebody he shot who then, burst to pieces and flew away or something like that. He seemed sober when he came in, but he was pretty messed up. And then that was Wednesday night, August 9th. So everybody make a power check Wednesday night. We'll start with that.
Dun, dun,
Boom.
dun.
Oh. Nope.
Ooh.
Who failed?
I made an extreme success.
Hutton. Oh, you have a good night's sleep. And
78.
Eldridge. From the look on her face, she failed. Okay.
Return of the Night Terrors.
You two have a dream that night. You're at the Saltmarsh Gazette. This is weird. You see each other there. It's kind of realistic, but it's not. You're not. I'm not going to say for certain you're in a dream, but you don't not know.
Dreamlands realistic?
It is. It's not definitely not Dreamlands realistic. Like certain things are wrong that don't make sense. You know how in dreams there'll be like a car sticking out of a wall or whatever. It's stuff like that. There's some weird stuff happening. There is a you see a face in the window that you recognize as Wilkes. Both of you see this. You also know each other are there. You can see each other. Somebody starts banging on the window on the inside. Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! He cries out, and then cracks appear in the glass. Okay? And then the walls start to crack. There is a blast of wind. This blast of wind hits you, and you wake up. It's the middle of the night, or it's early morning hours, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Each of you needs to make me a spot hidden. And each of you probably should make me a sanity check.
Just the ones that had the dream?
Just the dream.
Okay.
You did not dream this up at Hazard's house. What, fail for the
sanity?
That's. Hang on, I need
Wait,
my
spot
character
hidden
sheet.
first.
I made the spot hidden.
Okay. How'd you do on your spot hidden, Isabella?
Hard success.
Oh, great. Okay. What you both notice is one of the person that stands out there is Bridget Strong. You both have met her, so maybe it's just because you just met her or whatever. But she's there watching this whole thing too, and then it disappears. And then a sanity check. If you succeed, you take 0. If you fail, you take 1 point of sanity. This was more realistic than. It's not as realistic as the Dreamlands, but it was had more feel to it than just a dream that isn't anything. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Also, it appears that the Wizard Wilkes was going to escape from that room above the Gazette. Miss Eldridge, did you make your sanity check? I saw a frown.
61?
That's not a success. So just 1 point of sanity loss. Very disturbing. You both wake up and you're very, very disturbed. Miss Eldridge in your room at Miss Trudy's, and Hutton at your room, your house, your little building
outside the window.
Widow Danforth. Yes. So that was Wednesday night, the 8th. We're gonna wait on that. So that happens on Wednesday night. Thursday, Sean, you have to get up early and get in to the paper because the Saltmarsh Gazette is coming out today. And I have a copy of the Saltmarsh Gazette for y'all.
Huzzah!
Is this on? That's on. Good. Let's put that back in the bag. I will briefly go over what's in it. I did not have this open. I apologize. Should have had this file open. Newspaper. Post to Discord. The Saltmarsh Gazette for August 9th, 1877. There it is. In this week's Saltmarsh Gazette, at least on page 1, there is... I'm going to grab my hard copy because it'll be a lot easier for me. Because mine is actually on newsprint. Ooh. So you've got a fourth who dies from the mosquito sickness. This time Mary Jane Freeman, 27, who died on Tuesday, just Tuesday, a couple days ago.
We heard about that last time.
No, that was somebody else last time.
Somebody died.
Somebody died last week. This lady's brand new. She just died.
You mentioned it. You mentioned it last time.
No, I did not. I never mentioned this.
This is a new one.
This is a totally different person. Last week was the third. This is the fourth. Last week was a man. This is a woman. There's no Freeman.
Same last name then.
No, it doesn't have the same last name.
I
don't know where you're getting this from.
Freeman was a name that came up.
Freeman was mentioned by Aaron talking about African American names that were taken after the Civil War, or maybe it was by Sean. Somebody mentioned that.
Okay.
Freeman, Grant. I don't know. He named off a few. This name has been has no relation to that conversation. There's a council meeting, and the date that it's scheduled for, which is next Monday, and there's some of the items that are on the agenda. There's a correction about the council meeting story, a very short blurb just announcing it that should have been in last week's paper. Hutton, you know that that the paper is paid to put in a story 2 weeks before the meeting. By law, you're supposed to announce it early enough so people can make plans. That got left out last week. There are more news on the Nez Perce war that's happening over in Idaho. There's, of course, the advertisement from the Pickers Guilds saying, "Stay off our property, or we will kill you." There is a saying of the week. There's a clarification that Miss Eldridge might find interesting on the lower right-hand side of the page. And there is a story entitled, "New Teacher at Miss Trudy's." In the paper as well as an advertisement for Miss Trudy's Girls' School. Also, Hutton, you know, this is a brand new advertisement. Miss Trudy has never advertised in the Gazette before that you know about, or at least not since you've been working there last few months. She literally came into the paper the other day with news and wanted to have some front page advertising. You either heard about this from Cunningham or you were there when it happened. Either way, whichever you prefer.
Okay.
That's all the front page news. Rest of the newspaper editorials and obituaries are on page 2, including Miss Freeman's obituary. It looks like she was related to a cousin, maybe, of one of the undertakers in town, Caesar King. Also looks like she kept her own name after she married. And her kids have her name as well. So take a minute to look over the newspaper if you so desire. Okay, newspaper, check. This thing happened, check.
Oh no, this says that her husband Walter Freeman took her to the infirmary.
Oh, he took her name then, I think.
What? That wouldn't happen this time, would it?
It would if she says, "You're taking my name if you want to marry me." And he's like,
"Oh, you want some of this?
I do want to marry you, so I better take your name." It is very uncommon. You are correct in that.
It's still uncommon. Very.
Yes.
I worked with a guy who took his wife's name.
Let me double check.
And he simply said he hated his family, that he would rather take his wife's last name and not be associated with his family.
Yeah. From what you can put together from the obituary, his actual name used to be Walter King, and he took her name apparently. As far as you can put together from newspaper articles, the obituary on page 2. Typical editorials. Widow Danforth has an editorial in almost every paper. They're usually pretty short. She's complaining about something or other, drinking. The most recent one is her complaining about this soldier who is doing all these narcotics. She doesn't like it.
He's not the only one who.
No, he's not.
Partakes in the town, though.
No, definitely
not. But he's new.
He's new. He works for the government, and he's smoking opium in the Saltmarsh Hotel and Saloon. Not many people do that. They usually do smoke opium and stuff other places.
In private.
Mostly in private, yeah. Oh, by the way, I do have rules for several different opiates, marijuana, alcohol, and all that stuff. So if you guys want to get drunk before dealing with the Cthulhu mythos, it can have advantages and disadvantages. I think most of the advantages come in the fact that you don't take as much sanity loss, basically, because you're drunk or you're stoned.
Right.
Okay, so that makes it Thursday. What is this? I can't read my handwriting. Oh, I almost forgot. There's a story about Sarah Brown Farm on the back page, on page 4, and about how they're avoiding. They seem to have been avoiding the sickness, and it's being attributed to good, healthy living, and honey, and good food and vegetables. A very positive story. And that is your story, Loren. It has been edited by Cunningham, but for the most part, it's yours. Nobody gets bylines in this little paper because that takes up a whole line or two, and that's a lot for Cunningham for what he's trying to cram into this paper every week. So he doesn't get a byline. Nobody has bylines at this juncture. If you guess if the paper ever becomes a daily or something, then bylines will start showing up. Okay, so we got that dealt with. It is Thursday. Is there anything anybody wants to do Thursday?
Definitely going to try to meet up with the group.
Yeah. You can probably find them. Make me a luck check, Hutton. If you succeed, it is at your discretion. Do you want to meet them at breakfast?
At
okay.
Breakfast.
All right. Does Miss Eldridge go to the saloon at breakfast, or does she have her breakfast at Miss Trudy's? Breakfast and dinner are included with the room and board, by the way.
How's the food at Miss Trudy's?
It's pretty good. Somebody's training to be a cook, so one of these girls is doing all the cooking, and she's getting progressively better.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to have breakfast there.
Yeah,
but
you can have breakfast there.
For the sake of meeting up, I mean, for the story.
No. There's no sake of meeting up. If you have breakfast there and you don't go to the saloon that morning, then he's got to seek you out. Jimenez is up at Hazard's having breakfast, as usual. Yeah. Crepes and very, very fluffy scrambled eggs, and he's hired some pretty decent cooks. So, and cookbooks have come in the mail as well to make them even better cooks. So you go in search of them at breakfast time, Hutton. But the only one you maybe you don't find Shaeder either. He's probably passed out in his room still. He was up pretty late with Enos last night, and they were both really, really drinking some nasty shit.
I know where Jimenez is staying.
Yes, and you know where
Eldridge is staying,
where she lives, and they probably have a breakfast and you have free breakfast at your place too. Don't forget.
Yeah.
But on Thursday mornings, you're usually pretty busy, actually, taking newspapers to various places and placing them. Cunningham has been riding up to Burl, and then he's been sending Abraham Grant he's been sending you probably riding on Thursdays up to Seaton because Abraham might be in danger there. He is a Negro.
Yes.
So he doesn't want to take any chances.
By chance, does a copy of the paper or copies get delivered to Miss Trudy's house?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Miss Trudy has a regular subscription. She actually gets 4 copies of the paper.
then
every
that
week?
morning I would be like, "Hey, do you mind if I take those
Oh
today?"
yeah, he's fine with that. If you want to, as long as you get up to, Seaton.
Because if I
Actually,
had
Cunningham's already
three,
left. He leaves really early,
oh,
so I guess it's up to you whether you do that or not. You could.
yeah, I'm taking them.
Okay, yeah, you can take the copies, the 4 copies to Miss Trudy's.
Yep, and I
Knockety
will.
knock, knock, knock
Yep.
on the front door. A young woman answers. She's in a robe. Like, she's not wearing clothes. She's in probably underwear under her robe, and she's got a closed
Yeah.
robe. And she seems very surprised. She's like, oh, oh. And then she kind of gets behind the door. Mr. Hutton. And you recognize her as one of the regulars who's learning there and also doing some other things for.
You lean in, trying to peek around the door.
No.
She seems
Yeah.
very surprised to see you. You've never been here before, except for
Yeah.
like business. Like, I need to
Yes.
interview you, or I need to get some facts, or whatever.
Yeah. I have Miss Trudy's papers.
Oh, I'll take those. She's kind
but,
of reaches around the door.
Could you please let Miss Eldridge know that I'd like to speak with her?
Oh, of course. Oh, I'll just
No,
wait just a
no.
second, and she closes the door.
You have a gentleman caller.
That's exactly what happens. Yes.
For breakfast,
Okay.
though, at
So
least
you all are eating breakfast.
uh,
There is a dining room on the ground floor. It's off the kitchen. That is off limits to like party guys. Um, Everybody's eating, talking, giving some. The girl's name is Laverne, who's been doing the cooking because she wants to learn to be a chef. That's her go-to, her goal. And right now, so people are criticizing the food, but not. It's constructive criticism, like this could use some more salt. Ooh, what about some cheese in this? That kind of thing. And everybody's kind of pitching in to try to help her. And you're probably doing the same. And then a young girl named Belle comes in and she says, Miss Eldridge, she says this from the door. She goes, Miss Eldridge, you have a gentleman caller.
Oh,
Yes,
Okay.
he's waiting for you at the front door. Now, what are you wearing? Did you go ahead and fully dress before you came down for breakfast? Or are you just in like, yeah, okay. So so you're appropriately dressed if you want to go to the door. It won't be scandalous.
yeah. And before that, I'm, sitting at the breakfast table, eating and drawing.
Okay.
I'm drawing kind of the dream, basically.
Okay. Ooh, cracks up the side of the building, broken windows.
Yeah, maybe a couple different scenes, the figure
Okay.
in the window. It's
Yeah.
pretty dark, maybe charcoal.
You've
even,
just gotten
so-
started on this though,
Yeah.
so we're not going to have you do any checks yet. But yeah.
Okay.
And then Belle
so-
comes
okay.
and she's got the papers and she kind of hands them out so people can read them.
I guess I can put two and two together that, well, I guess I don't really know who delivers the paper around here.
No, you've never seen who brings the paper before.
Okay.
Because it's early.
Alright,
It's
and-
pretty early in the morning, actually. But yeah, okay. What do you want to do?
I put down my pencil and
Mm-hmm.
my English muffin or whatever. And
It's probably like eggs and
Sure.
toast and
Biscuit.
a biscuit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
probably
toast.
some biscuits that are a little flat. She's got to work on that.
and I get up and head to the door.
Yeah, you open the front door, look out, and there's Mr. Hutton, looking a little
Mr. Hutton.
embarrassed, probably,
Good morning.
or at least a little.
Uh,
Nice to see you.
Morning. I had a strange dream last night, and you were in it, and as was the Wizard Wilkes.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Interesting.
I think we're gonna have to do something very soon.
That sounds fair. Would you like to come in? Have some breakfast? Have you eaten yet?
A lot of those
I-
girls are half dressed, by the way, Miss Eldridge, in the kitchen or in the dining
Is
room
that
eating.
not appropriate? I guess not.
It's
huh?
probably not appropriate, and the dining room is not
It's
for
polite to
gentlemen
offer, I
callers. You can offer, you can offer as much as you want.
No, I have to make some deliveries, but I think that this afternoon we will try to meet with everyone.
Yes, that sounds good.
I,
I also had a slightly alarming dream. I'm actually in the middle of drawing it right now, while I eat breakfast, so, uh, yeah, perhaps I can bring my drawing and you can bring any notes you, have written about it, and we can compare and, make a plan.
yes,
We certainly have a few things to talk about, I think.
yes. I'm sorry if this starts any rumors amongst the house.
You
Oh,
can hear
yes,
giggling behind you, Miss Eldridge, coming from the direction of the dining room.
I look for a second. Oh no, roll my eyes. Oh, well, it may be a little late for that. Oh well.
Right.
Oh,
And
and then
So,
you're off.
to the saloon, what
yes,
time?
at the 2 o'clock. I
You
think I'd
might
be
not.
back from.
You might not be. You basically get a fast horse from the livery stables, and you ride hard up to Seaton, which is. Let's see. Let me get an estimate on Seaton's distance for you. Nope, not there. Huh. Seaton is probably 20 to 25 miles.
Oh damn!
It's about the same distance as Burl. You take a fast horse up there, you trade it out in Seaton at the livery stable there for another fast horse, and then you ride back at whatever pace you
Okay.
want. But you can make a hard ride back too.
Yeah.
Um,
That would
and
take
you've been doing this
all
probably
day.
for about a month. And Cunningham takes the other horse in. Or actually, you've probably been doing it since Tex left. Because he used to do this for Burl. And actually, the
Yeah.
Seaton route is relatively new since Tex left. And then Cunningham, it's about the same distance to Burl. Cunningham does it for Burl. You guys are both worn out by the end of Thursday. And then Abraham handles all of the handing out of most of the
So
handing
it's-
out in town.
So it's more. I'll be back for dinner.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Then I would say to meet around supper time.
Okay.
You usually get an
That's
earlier
good.
start than this too, because
Yeah,
you're usually out of
yeah.
town by 5, but you
If you
overslept
could
this
let-
morning.
If you could let Jimenez know and Mr. Shaeder.
Certainly. Andy, do I know where they're staying?
Yes, Jimenez is up at Hazard's house, but he usually comes down to town every day. And Shaeder is staying at the hotel right now.
Okay.
You guys are all pretty
Cool.
familiar with where everybody is at this juncture, I think. You've been pretty
Yeah.
open with each other. You know Isabella's
Yeah.
working at Miss Trudy's. Even if it hadn't been in the paper, you would know that. And, Yeah.
I would think do I honestly, yeah, I probably would.
no one.
Normally I would take this trip and I would probably carry my rifle.
Yeah, you throw your rifle in just in case you run into somebody. But all you're carrying is newspapers and maybe $2. So if you
Yeah.
get robbed, what are they going to? They're going to steal the newspapers? You haven't been robbed yet since doing this.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say you would definitely know that the horse that would I've already gotten the horse, or I still got to get the horse, I guess is the question.
this morning you still have to get the horse. You wouldn't
Okay.
get the horse before you would
Uh,
pack it up with papers and then
he
go.
has a rifle slung over his shoulder.
Okay. You also don't have to go by the Pickersgill and the Baldry territory. The road to Seaton
Yeah.
is before that, so at least you're
Yeah.
avoiding that.
It's just this is probably the first time that Isabella has seen Hutton carrying a firearm.
Oh, you've got the rifle with you, just kind of over your shoulder or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's got a Winchester. Is it a rifle or is it a carbine?
carbine.
Okay, so it's a shorter Winchester. And Isabella, you have a rifle, Winchester rifle,
I have,
don't you?
I think the same, yeah, the same one.
Well,
So
no.
I want to remark on that.
Is it a
before he
wait?
leaves.
Do you have a rifle? Do you have a carbine? Carbines are shorter and have fewer bullets.
Carbine.
Okay. It's the same. It's about the same.
Yeah, it's the
Wait,
same one.
is yours a 73 or 76? 76s are newer. They're more expensive. They only came out last year. Same with you, Loren. You got a 73 or
mine's the older
76? Okay, so he's got a 73. If you have at least 40% in rifle, Miss Eldridge, you'd recognize his gun. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
for the
It
year.
Um, I might have more info. I'm not seeing. Oh, 73.
You have a 73 too. That makes sense because the new ones just came out last year. There aren't that many in this far west.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like yours. You recognize his rifle. Go ahead if you want to make him.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before he leaves, I say, "Oh, that's a nice let's see, what's the word?
Rifle.
Yeah, but
Carbine,
okay,
firearm.
never
Firearm.
Sure.
Long arm.
That's a lovely
Boomstick.
firearm there. I actually have the same one.
Oh, oh, um, yeah, yeah,
You didn't know she knew how to use a gun, Hutton.
yeah. Um, um, I like to carry it with me when I make the deliveries up to Seaton, just in
I
case.
see. That's a smart idea.
Yep.
I would
You
do
would
that
have
as
you would have
well.
already seen him carrying a Bowie knife, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll see you at supper.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Ride safely.
Yep.
Okay, and so Miss Eldridge, you have some duties today, some teaching stuff to do, but you also have downtime. If there's anything else you want to do, I've got your list. So if you want to do any of these things on this list, let me know. Just tell me what you want to do that day. You can get
Yes.
up one or more things done each day. You know what I mean? Especially on Sunday, you could do 2 or 3 because you have more time on your hands. Sunday's your day off.
Deja vu. I just got deja vu.
Oh.
Weird.
So if you want to do
Okay.
anything, I'm going to jump to Jimenez, then come back to you. So you look over your list and decide if there's anything you want to try to get done today before meeting them tonight. Jimenez, are you going into town today? I mean, is this a day
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
So you go into town, you do your business in town. Is there
Get a
anything?
shave. Yeah. Read the paper.
Oh yeah, get a shave. Yeah, Henderson Gray is expecting you. It's your regular day. You get a shave every day at the barber shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's glad to see you. You're a great customer. You're steady income for him, and you have and you two of you have a nice, interesting conversation. He trims your hair. Make sure the mustache it's waxed, isn't it? It's just pencil thin. Yeah. Make sure he's very careful around the mustache, and then you can go get. You've already had breakfast, and then you can go about your business for the day with whatever you need to do. If there's
Which
anything,
is lackadaisically playing guitar on various porches. He might say after he's probably
Fair
done.
enough.
He probably plays his guitar at the barber shop. Maybe just some ambient sort of music.
oh yeah,
It's
Henderson
not
Gray will
anything-
take that.
Yeah, say he's not anything he was ever asked to do. He just does it. So he figures it's a nice
So
gesture,
relaxing.
and he'll eventually, like after lunch,
He's got the hat down.
No.
People throw coins in there occasionally.
say
Right?
he's not even worried about making money. But yeah,
You better make some money.
We could join forces. I could do portraits on the street next
Oh
to
my
you.
God, you
Okay,
have a
we'll get
job,
started.
right? You've got a job, Miss Eldridge. So you've got a lot
I
of
know.
flexibility
It'll
with
be
your
fun.
schedule. Okay,
I say I'm
but
kind of living off this money that I got paid from Hazard.
Oh, that's
though.
right.
So,
Hazard
like,
did pay
he's
you.
got, yeah, like
He's living
$300.
well.
He's got like $300, and in this time period, that's a lot of money. So
one thing, Miss Eldridge, is Miss Trudy needs a list of books to order for certain classes that
Okay.
you want to teach, as far as like maybe grammar books, or
Oh.
if you're gonna, because you were a regular teacher, so
Yeah.
you can give the basics to these girls in math, literature, history,
Yeah.
and writing and grammar. Those things you
Okay.
could teach the basics, and some of them do not know like good writing or much about
I was
history.
gonna say
So if you
I want to get I want to get a sense of where everybody's at first.
Okay.
Before I decide what books to order.
Gotcha.
If it's truly beginning,
Okay.
they don't even know how to read. That's
So-
one thing. But then
most of them know how to mostly read. So yeah, so you do that this morning. You're getting your feelers, so you can tell Miss Trudy what books you think you'll need. Is there anything on your list you want to try to get done today?
yes, there's a couple different options
Mhm.
here.
What do you want to start with? Anything you want?
I think I want to start with writing a letter to the closest university.
Oh yeah, okay. So
Or
yeah, you could definitely do
Yeah.
that. That's easy. The closest university is going to be Territorial University of Washington, which is in Seattle. However, it was established in 1861, but you know it had a rocky history. You don't know all the details, but you know that the college closed and then reopened like 2 or 3 times. You're not sure why. It might have been like funds or something. You don't know for sure. You just remember reading about it in the paper in the 60s and even up to last year. You think it reopened last year, um, or maybe it closed last year. They have had some graduates though. Um, so yeah, you could write to them and try to. And you're writing with the titles of the books in your library and a short description to try to get somebody to translate those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I assume there's probably not linguistic anthropology as a discipline yet,
Probably
per
not.
se, or
They
something like
might
that, though.
they might have somebody who speaks those languages.
Okay.
So you've
Yeah,
got
just
several
languages in
books.
general.
You
And
have
I'll
okay
write in my note that I'm
French.
willing to pay whatever rate they
Oh, whatever rate.
require to translate.
You've got a book in French, The Arcane de la Vie Future I'm mispronouncing this, Devoils. Um, you do have the Book of Werewolves, that's in English. Um, Another
Sound
French
like
one,
Deb,
Histoire
sound
de
like
la
Deborah Rosen.
Magique.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron.
No, go ahead. I was
Histoire
interrupting you.
de Magique is also in French, obviously. There's another English book, The Magus. Um, you also have those fragments of that book. Those are in English.
Okay.
Fragments of the what it says is fragments of the Necronomicon. Um, and then finally, you have
Hello, everybody.
hello,
Hello.
Demonalatri Libra Terris, which is apparently Latin. So Latin and French is what you need somebody to be able to translate. But yeah, you can get that letter written today, in addition to your other duties.
I
I
guess
ask if that second book was like Devereaux or something like that.
No,
Okay. I know French has some weird spelling.
the Devolets or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
No, that's Devolets, I believe.
Okay.
Something like that.
okay.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I wanna-
Hey, Kevin.
Hi. I want to make sure.
It's the next day, so you're good to go. Nothing much has happened yet. Go ahead, Josie. Sorry.
I want to get. Okay, I'll just ask you first. Are these titles something that would obviously they might raise some red flags because of the occult nature, although it is kind of popular at this time, right? So is
Go ahead.
somebody gonna accuse me of witchcraft for
No.
asking
No, you don't
this,
think so.
or like
You're sending this to
nothing like
to an educational institute.
Okay.
They're you doubt that they're going to think that you're a witch or can cast spells. These are
Okay.
obviously some very rare books that were made hundreds of years ago. You know, the first one's from 1848, so no, these aren't that old. Book of Werewolves is 65. History de la Magique is 61. Magus is 01. Your fragments, you know, those are old. Those
I
are
didn't read
real
any of
old.
it.
But you think it's a John Dee thing. And the oldest book that is that and the Latin book. Those are your oldest ones, and they're very old.
Okay. So
But
I'll
you
write
don't.
in my letter something about how this is for academic study, that I'm was previously a school teacher of children, but now I teach adult ladies, and I'm
Okay.
kind of. I guess I want to give off the impression that I'm kind of moving up in the world in terms of teaching, and I'm like an academic, and I'm
Okay.
just have a niche interest,
Okay.
something to like kind of excuse the occult nature of it, but not overly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fine. A couple of these are
Okay.
really old too. So probably very rare.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you want to try to get done that day?
I want to. If I have some time, I want to wander around town and see if there's a curio shop.
Okay. You'll. Ooh, you're just looking. You're not. Are you going to look? Are you going to ask, or how do you want to handle that?
Um, I mean, mostly just wander around. Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Yeah. You don't find anything that looks like a curio shop. I think in the Saltmarsh maps, I did put like a a key. Yeah, there's a key there as well for the map in Discord. So um, you can look down that list and see if you can see anything that might be helpful. But there's nothing. You don't walking around see anything that's like curios or knickknacks or anything like that.
Ooh,
And remember, some of these
observatory.
you're not gonna really know
That's
that
different.
unless you want to walk way out of town, because that one's pretty
Okay.
far out. If you're sticking to downtown and the main town and maybe the bridge and just the other side of the bridge, that's your business zone, and then all the way up to the church.
Sure. If I at some point if I hear about the observatory, I'll make a mental note to check that out later.
Okay, you haven't heard about it yet. And you're not
Okay.
really asking right now. You're just kind of walking around town when you have some time that afternoon. Mr.
Mhm.
Shaeder,
Yep.
you wake up Thursday morning.
Okay.
I don't know what an opium hangover is. You had quite a bit last night,
Yep.
drinking with Enos Baldry.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah, you remember
Well,
that.
I'm not sure if I remember that, but I remember
Oh,
that.
make me a con check. How about a con check? And
Yeah.
if
Yeah. You
you
know,
fail your
that's a
con
low
check,
first idea.
last night is just a blur. You talked to somebody about something that was weird. But if you make it, you remember everything.
Oops. Yes.
Okay, yeah, you remember last night. It's yeah, there's some blurry stuff in there, but for the most part, you remember everything that happened. You overslept this
Uh,
morning a little bit too. You were
yeah.
up
Well,
fairly late, and it's daylight by the time you awaken.
I don't have anything I have to do today, do I?
No, not really. You're basically waiting for the two customs men to come to you,
Yeah.
as far as you're concerned, and say, "Hey, we need your help with this," or "We'd like some advice." You've probably already talked to them a few times with some advice, um, but they're just yeah. You don't have a whole lot of duties here.
Good. Well,
Okay. Anything specific you
uh,
want to do on Thursday?
Oh,
if I don't have to be anywhere or do anything,
Hmm.
uh,
Light up.
pretty much,
there is
yeah.
a paper
Okay.
that came out today. There is a
Mm.
paper that came out today. So
Oh, well, I
yeah,
will certainly get that
Okay.
for
At
something
some
else to read.
yeah, at some point during the day, you do get the paper. There is a copy of the front page in Saltmarsh Gazettes
that yeah.
in
Okay.
Discord. The newest one is today's. There are some. There's another article about the oh shit Piznez. What the hell are they called?
Liz Pierce.
Nez Pierce. Thank you. Got that all wrong. About the Nez Pierce and some of the things that are happening over in Idaho territory. And another person died a couple days ago from the mosquito sickness, is what they're calling it. Um, there's an upcoming council meeting next Monday. Oh boy, that'll be exciting. Yeah, so there you go. You can look that over. Is there anything else particularly you want to do today, or are you just kicking back and food,
Uh,
drink, and opium?
yeah. Food,
Okay.
drink, and smoke. Actually, what I will
Yeah.
do is I will. Uh, there is a weekly stage, right?
Yes, it's Wednesdays.
Okay, so what I will do is I will write a letter
Okay.
back to the Post in Seattle,
Hmm.
asking if anything is to be done about the Nez Pierce campaign.
Okay.
Basically, just checking in,
Yeah.
nothing more.
Okay. You'll be
Doing
able to
my
send
due
that.
diligence work.
You can drop that
And
off. The post office is in the general store, and
okay,
you're assuming that it'll be taken on the stage. You've
that's my
seen,
plan.
yeah. When you came in, they had a mailbag that came in with them that went to the
Yep.
general store, and a mailbag came out at around the same time to go back out
Okay.
of town.
Yeah, so I will write that letter and leave it to be mailed when they pick the mail up next.
Okay.
Pretty
Um,
much that's it. That's the only thing on my agenda for today.
okay.
It
You
doesn't
might run into
involve
me at the
relaxation.
post office.
Give me a luck check, Isabella. We'll use you for that to see if you two run into each other.
Could be. I mean, I won't be long at the post office. I'm there just long enough to drop the
No.
letter off.
47.
47,
That-
success, yeah. You just happen to be there about the same time as Miss Eldridge, who is also mailing a letter, apparently.
Oh. So I will say hello.
Hello. Curtsy. Nice to see you, Mr. Shaeder. What are you doing here?
Sending off a letter.
Oh, okay. Me as well.
Well, there's only one collector of mail, so I suppose this is it.
Yep, there's
They
a
don't take
slot.
mail
You can
till
buy.
Wednesday, right?
Sorry.
What day is today?
Today's Thursday.
Okay, so nuts. I missed the mail yesterday, didn't I?
You did miss it, yes.
Oh well. I should have done this yesterday, and if I was sober, I would have remembered that and done it. Well, these things happen.
Does he look hungover or anything?
He looks a little tired, but that's about all. It's probably
Yeah.
later
Yeah,
in the
but-
morning when the two of you run into each other.
I almost
He
always
didn't
look
have that
way in
dream,
real life.
did he? That we had?
You have no idea. How would you know? You better ask him if you want to
I
know.
was gonna ask.
Oh,
I was gonna ask. Oh, how did you sleep?
Well enough, thank you.
Yes. Oh well. I certainly hope I sleep better tomorrow night since had a bit of a nightmare.
Oh, I was going to say, if there was something involving the other side of Dream, then I fear I did not see you there.
Oh, it was a normal dream, normal nightmare, I believe. Although it did sort of involve the Gazette, and I think it may be because we met that Bridget girl last night, and she and
Oh,
Mr.
right,
Hutton
right.
talked about seeing Wilkes in the window,
Right,
and so
yes,
I think
do,
some of
I
that,
do recall that.
yeah, some of that
But
bled
no,
through into my dream.
No, I didn't have any such dream, right?
Ah,
no. You slept very hard.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
had
no.
drank. Enos offered you some of that corn liquor, and
Yep.
you had that. You had opium. You had laudanum. A little more
Yeah.
than you're used to have, than you usually have, as you're sharing it
Yeah.
with somebody. And so you slept like a rock.
Yeah, so good for me. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a question I have to ask you. Have you been returning to the Dreamlands every night?
Not every night, but definitely some nights
Okay, cool.
when possible.
Okay.
There are some nights like last night where I'm just too far gone to even do that.
Okay. Yeah, that's
But-
fair.
Do we
There
all
are
have
some nights where I if I can, I do.
Okay.
we all have the option to do that, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
No.
Except
Not Jimenez, who cannot.
Yeah,
His stairway down
Oh,
has
right.
disappeared. You look for steps down, and that takes you to the.
No, he doesn't even bother looking for steps. So
You see steps heading down, he heads the other way. Not again.
sad,
enough.
but true. But no, I slept untroubled last night, actually.
Oh, well,
And that
that
was-
that is lovely. I'm glad to hear that.
I do recall the little girl, though. That was the Smith's daughter, I think.
Right. Yes, I taught her a little bit about drawing. She seemed excited. So,
Yeah, I
Little
do
one?
recall. And, that one gentleman, Irby. Was it Irby was his name?
Enos. Enos
What was his last-
Baldry.
Baldry, not Irby.
Yes, Baldry's the last name. Enos Baldry.
I don't think I heard anything about that.
The gentleman I was drinking with last night, Enos Baldry. Come to think of it, I wonder if he's left town.
Ah.
I should probably have a look. If you'll excuse me a moment,
Oh, sure.
I'm going to wander back over to the
Yeah.
to the inn.
It's right across the street. The general store
Okay,
and the.
so I
and
don't
the
have
yeah, you don't have to go very far.
I have very far to go. I'm going to see. Is he still there?
You go check that room. It is empty. The window's open. The door was
did leave.
closed. You
He
knock.
did leave through the window.
You look like your guess is that he climbed out the window.
Yeah.
His gun is gone, so obviously he picked his gun up.
Okay,
You don't
good.
see any like signs of any of his stuff. He didn't have much. He had his hat and he had a knife on his belt that he had on when he put him into bed, and
Yeah,
the gun was left. You left a gun on a table somewhere in the room. You'd taken the bullets out of it,
yeah.
or actually, the bartender took the bullets out of it.
No, I did that.
Oh, did you do it? Okay, then
I
it's
did
empty
that.
of bullets, but it was, and it's gone now. It looks like he snuck
And
out.
the bullets that I took out, I actually I had left like next to his boots.
Okay, they're not there either. So
Yeah. In other words,
it
he
looks
can
like he
take
took
them and
everything.
reload if he wishes,
I think he had
but
a
he's sober.
dragoon, Colt dragoon, in his
Yeah.
belt.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like he
When he
snuck
wakes
out.
up and sobers up, he's welcome to reload if he wishes.
He probably did, but
Yeah.
he's gone. Looks like he's gone.
Okay, that's fine. I assumed that he would have gone. I just realized I should probably check.
You verified it. He's definitely gone. Um,
Okay, I'll go back outside then if Miss Eldridge is
Miss
still there.
Eldridge is actually talking to another lady at the moment. Miss Eldridge, Miss LaRue.
Ooh,
Um,
Laurel.
is it LaRoe? God damn it, I get it wrong every time.
Yeah.
Miss LaRoe, you were standing there outside of the general store when she kind of crept up on you. Um, you can give me a spot hidden to see if you see her coming, but it's going to be a hard success because she has a high sneak.
Oh, 21. Let's see
Hmm.
what I have. Um. Oh my god, that is a hard success.
Okay, you did see her coming. She has a smirk on her face, like she knows something. One of those kind of smirks, and she comes up to you like a co-conspirator. And she looks around. She says, I see you've already put your little plan into action. Hmm. She taps the side of her
Did
nose,
I actually
and then
say?
and then you don't remember actually saying if you said anything or not. Yeah, that's up to you.
Because I don't. I think I just said it to you
You
out of
might have. Yeah,
character. I
that's what
don't
she
think I
says to you.
actually.
That's what she says to you.
Interesting.
And then she just keeps
Oh,
walking.
I I look straight in the face in her
Yeah,
face,
you
and
did.
I
And then
say,
she turned and kept going, looking around
I'm
like
sorry.
she's
What?
part of some kind of like conspiracy. Oh, I know what your
Wait,
little
what?
plan is. I know what your plan is. It's an excellent idea.
What plan?
Get them from the inside. I saw the article in the paper this morning. Genius. Shh.
Oh,
And then she like
wow.
starts walking very quickly away from you.
Okay. Oh well. Thank you. Oh, have a nice day.
She doesn't even reply. She's just moving on.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
As she's leaving, I'm
Shaeder
like,
comes
whatever.
out from the hotel. Shaeder, you saw sort of an exchange between these two, but this other lady's walking away with speed. Uh, there you
And
go.
I have a stunned look on my
Yeah.
face because she read my mind.
I'm. What did you say to her? Whoever that was,
Oh,
Yeah, you haven't met Miss
or she
LaRoe
to you
yet.
for that matter.
LaRoe.
Laurel. Oh, Miss Laurel. She is. She is a character. That one. She always sneaks up on me. Although I caught her this time.
Yeah, she's really quiet.
Uh,
She's very quiet,
yes,
like
she's
Viet
very
Cong.
quiet, very stealthy. Um, she and the widow Danforth, and another woman who I probably remember in character her name, but anyway, um,
Oh yes.
they sort of ambushed me the other day,
No, just the
and
two of
tried
them.
to.
You didn't meet the third.
Okay,
You got the
I
name
know there
though.
is a third, but I didn't know.
Rosalie Parlow is the third that
Okay,
they mentioned. That's the name they mentioned, but you haven't met her yet. Go ahead.
okay. Um, so yes, those two ambushed me a couple of days ago and tried to get me to join their temperance league, which is kind of funny because that's not really my sort of thing.
I wouldn't
Uh,
have taken you for much of a temperance supporter.
no, certainly not. But I wanted to be polite and didn't really have much of a choice socially, so I had tea with them, and well, I tried to bring up the whole relationship thing with the widow in order to get some idea about to maybe get her to reveal something about her relationship with Mr. Wilkes, but it didn't quite go as planned. So I
is
don't
that
know.
still an issue then with Wilkes?
Yes. Certainly, if he's showing up in dreams, I think it's a bit of a red flag, whatever the term for a red flag would be now.
Red flag.
Probably.
It's a bit of an alarm bell, or something.
No, that's a perfect. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Oh, red.
I like
The
either
red
one.
flag comes from the term red flag comes from nautical terminology.
Mm-hmm.
From what?
Nautical terminology. It refers to a demand for war, or by extension, a dangerous situation about to happen.
Interesting. Didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah. Like, for instance, pirates. You know when you think of a pirate flag? Like the Jolly Roger?
Black flag.
That's not a pirate flag. That's a communication.
Mm-hmm.
That flag means we are pirates.
We're coming to
surrender
get you.
your valuables. If the other ship doesn't respond by pulling down its flag to indicate compliance, the Jolly Roger comes down and is replaced by a red flag. That means now
we're fighting. Yeah.
Now we're fighting and everybody dies.
Fight or run.
Yeah.
So red flag is an appropriate comment to use there about the Wizard Wilkes showing up in your dreams.
Yeah, as in this is a dangerous situation.
Right. Yes, so I don't think it is resolved, but I did see Mr. Hutton this morning, and he has some deliveries to attend to today, but we made a plan to meet up for dinner later so that we can all discuss this Wilkes business. If you would like to join us, I think I should also contact Mr. Jimenez so that we can all
sure.
Have that plan. At the saloon, he didn't really say a time, but supper time?
I'll be there then.
Not certain when he will get back.
Well,
what a long ride.
I'll secure a table and I'll wait.
Okay. Yeah, perhaps 6? 7? I don't know.
As it were. I'll find a table and I'll wait. No worries.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot to do in this town anyway, I suppose. So.
No, there really isn't. I don't suppose you found a place that carries books, have you?
Have I, Andy?
There's a few books in the general store. Almanacs, stuff like that. You have not seen any kind of a library in this town.
Okay.
Not surprisingly. It's a frontier town.
Then I suppose I'm going to bounce back over there, indicating the general store with that nod, and I'm going to buy some reading material.
I
apparently have a long time to wait, so I buy something to fill up time while I wait.
If you are interested in some more unusual, eclectic sort of reading material, I could perhaps assist you with that. I have a small library that I brought with me.
Oh, well, yeah, that'd be even better. Just to be perfectly honest, almanacs generally are
they're boring.
Not that interesting.
Still, yes.
No, but absolutely, if you wouldn't mind, I'd happily avail myself of whatever you're willing to loan out.
Certainly.
Your library is at Miss Trudy's now, in your room. There's a question. Is it up on a shelf? Is it in a trunk or a box or something? Or how did you want to store it once you got into your quarters now here at Miss Trudy's?
Yeah, I guess I guess I'm planning on staying. I don't have a reason to leave this town for a while, so.
There's probably a writing desk in your room. You can have a shelf on the wall. There's probably a small wardrobe for hanging clothes, a dresser for folding clothes, a small bed, like a single bed with a chamber pot underneath. You've also got some hooks on the walls if you have stuff you just want to hang. Okay. It's a nice little room, and there's probably like one comfortable stuffed chair in there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just unpack fully then and put
so they're up on the wall.
Shelf
okay, yeah, I was just curious about that.
Now would it be weird if he actually visited my room? I mean, that might just make the rumors swirl even more.
Maybe it might. Yeah, you don't know. Depends on who sees you. Miss Trudy doesn't have any rules against visitors in the rooms. Gentlemen callers who are paying are not allowed on that floor. You know that.
Okay.
But boyfriends and stuff, whatever. They're
Or
pretty loose with the rules at Miss
friends,
Trudy's.
acquaintances, things like
Friends,
that.
acquaintances, fiancés, whatever. As long as they're not money's not moving around, then she doesn't mind them being
I
upstairs.
mean, if it's the middle of the day and whatever,
The middle of the day is
it's
not even
less
a
weird,
problem.
right?
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
little less weird, yes. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Plus, this isn't Victorian England or
Okay.
Elizabethan or or the Regency. So,
Right.
Yeah.
your reputation isn't quite as solid as far as that goes. Anyway, so how do you want
Okay.
to handle this?
Yeah. Okay. So I will invite him to come take a look at my bookshelf.
Happy to.
And my etchings.
I suppose now, if you have nothing else to do today.
I had nothing at all on the agenda until your
Sure.
suggestion for dinner.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Miss
Let's
Eldridge, you can give me a luck check.
Precisely my point, to have something to fill up some time between now and supper.
You made it. Nice.
Ooh,
You don't see
that's,
anybody. You get to the house, you go in through the front doors, you go up the back stairway that leads up to the second and third floor. You don't run into anybody. You know people are around, you can hear people in the classrooms. There's maybe 10 or 15 girls in the whole place, plus Miss Trudy. And that's about it. So it's not surprising. This building is huge. And you get up to your room without actually seeing anybody in the middle of the day. Some of the girls have jobs off outside of the house as well to help raise money and that kind of thing.
So this is Miss Trudy's that I was warned about.
Yes. It's really nice. You basically see the front hall. If there's a closed door on your right, you can assume leads to a parlor or something. There's a back hall, but she takes you to a set of back stairs. You can smell food, breakfast food. You pass an archway on the left that's open. That is a real nice dining room. It's all cleaned up. There's some nice china. And then you're up on the second floor. The second floor is more bare, but there's a long hallway down the middle and rooms on either side. And then the stairway goes on up to the third floor, and these look like these are also rooms. These look like they're private rooms. And she takes you to one. Do you lock your door, Miss Eldridge?
No, I don't even close the door.
She just the door. Yeah, that's true. There's a nice breeze blowing. Most of these doors up here are open. Actually, it looks like almost you pass what looks like it's almost like a dormitory. With private rooms, and each person has their own room, and some of them have some decorations. Some have like clothing strewn all over the place. Who knows? Miss Eldridge's room, the doors are wide open, as is the one across. There's a nice breeze blowing through from the front of the house towards the back of the house, and I just described the room with a small armoire, or not an armoire, a wardrobe, small wardrobe, dresser, a stuffed chair. There's a lantern on a little table next and a writing desk. You can see a shelf with books. Some of them look like they're in very bad shape.
Oh, you've done very well for yourself, it seems.
They were
busybodies, of course, talk about this place like it was the mouth of hell. That's their nature.
Certainly not.
To spew such things.
It's a slightly unconventional place, but I'm finding it to be lovely so far.
Excellent.
And as for the books, they were a gift, an inheritance of sorts from a friend. They're a bit unusual, so that's why I was at the post office, was to send a letter to the university in Seattle, or wherever it is.
Yes, it's in Seattle, yes.
To translate some of them, because some are in French and Latin.
Well, this won't
I think that's it.
do me much good. I don't remember really anything of Latin.
Right. Well, perhaps you would like to pick one of the English ones then.
That would be better. All I remember of Latin is a joke.
Or something.
Yeah, there's 4 of these books look like they are relatively new, and they're in pretty good shape. One of them is called The Book of Werewolves. It is... it has if you open it up and look through it, it's only about 10 years old. The publication date's 1865 by Sabine Baring Gould. The other English book is from 1801. So it's a little older, but it's called The Magus, or the Celestial Intelligencer, being a complete system of occult philosophy. So it sounds a little weighty.
Yeah.
The older books, one is in Latin. That's Demonale Tre Libra Tres.
So,
You can make me.
book
Do you have?
3.
Do you have Latin? Do you have any points in Latin? No.
but
Okay. Yeah.
that's simple enough.
Yeah. And then there is the one that looks the worst. Is obviously very old. She's got it laying flat on the shelf because a lot of the pages are disconnected from the binding. It looks like it is in really bad shape. A lot of pages are missing. And it looks like the frontispiece says Necronomicon. It is dated 1586, translated by Dr. John D.
And I tell him to be careful with that one because it's falling apart.
Yeah, I
And
can
then
see.
there's two more in French. You do see dates on them are 1848 and 1861 if you glance at them. Yeah, those are her books. There's 6 books.
Oh.
And the Necronomicon is a manuscript. It is written freehand. It's not a print.
Yeah. And that's John Dee, the magician.
Yes, Dr. John D. This is probably a copy of a copy.
Yeah. With points in occult, I'm assuming I know who John Dee is.
Yeah,
He's
you
a
can
magician.
have. Yeah, if you have points in occult, definitely. Magician, worked with Kelly. They talked to the angels, supposedly.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, true story. John Dee actually did perform a really impressive feat of magic once. He actually made 11 days disappear.
Oh, I've heard this story somewhere. I don't remember
You
how
made
it
what
goes.
disappear?
But 11
He
days.
made 11 days disappear.
How so?
He was the first to realize that
Math.
the calendar used by the medieval church
Oh.
had failed to account for leap days.
Oh, I see.
Because he was
Nice.
really very, very skilled at astronomy. And he
Cool.
understood that the Earth was in the wrong place based on the calendar. So what he did
Wow.
was he basically accounted for a whole bunch of missed leap years.
Hmm.
So
Do you say that in
he didn't actually
character?
make days disappear. He basically just
curious.
corrected the calendar.
Yeah, he could
But-
say that. Your character could say it if you have some
Would you like
points
to
in
say that
occult.
Oh,
in character?
Yeah, I
I'll
may
find
mention
it.
It's
that
probably
character.
known, yeah.
That's
It
a
looks
kind of
like
fun little fact.
pages are missing. Some pages have been burned, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one's
And I don't
seen
know
better
why,
days.
right?
No.
one-
None of the stuff that's missing is new. A lot of these look like this book's been damaged a long time ago. It
Yeah.
was this
Dee is
when you found it.
the only author here who I recognize. But this book looks
Yes.
like it's in very poor shape, and I don't want to move it.
And that's the Necronomicon, right?
That is the
Or-
Necronomicon, yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you put down a flat surface, you can kind of open it to kind of start perusing it, and then close it again very quickly when you see how much damage there is.
Yeah.
Nicholas Remy is the Latin, whoever wrote the Latin book. Alphonse Gagnet is the Arcane de la Vie Future Devoyals. And Eliphas Levi is Histoire de la Magique.
Yeah. So as much as Dee is the only author I recognize, that's the first one I'm inclined to read. But it's this shape. This book's in poor shape,
Yes.
and I'm
Yeah.
very hesitant to read it. Any further
I'm
than
considering
you
copying it,
That would
actually, so that there
take a
is
while.
a more usable copy. Perhaps I could start working on that and maybe lend you the copy I make at some point.
It's a
Might
thick.
take a while.
It's a thick book.
That-
You're guessing months to do this. Okay.
Yeah, no, that would be.
Perhaps
that would
I
be
could
a
do
good
it in
idea.
stages and
No,
lend you
yeah, you
a
can.
chapter here and
Actually,
there.
I could. You know what? I could speed that process up.
Oh, we could
If you
work on
both
it
do
together.
it, you
I
could
suppose.
cut the time in half.
Yeah.
Sure, certainly. If we have nothing else better to do, why not?
So
Well, you do.
you know what?
You're a teacher.
You know what?
In our free time, whenever we
Well,
have.
I have pretty much nothing to do these days. So you
Right.
know what? Let's do then. Some of the pages are loose.
Yes. There are several pages loose. There are no
Okay.
page numbers. Keep that in mind. So
we want to
you
keep
might
all
want to
this
note
noted.
that or write something to kind of keep
Yeah.
track of what
I feel like I
pages
could
are
keep it all
where.
together.
Yeah, so we don't want to split it up.
800
Yeah.
pages in length, although there are missing pages. Just FYI, this is huge,
Yeah.
Say with pages missing.
and it's also like a big book. It's not
Yeah.
like it's like too big. It's too big. It's like a bigger than a gaming book. It's
Well,
bigger
It
than
might
this.
be a little-
It's bigger than this.
It's probably like Audubon's Birds or whatever, where it's this massive
It's big.
print. Yeah.
It's not so huge that you can't fit it in a trunk, but
Hold on a
it's
sec.
good
Hold on a
size
sec.
and super.
It might be dangerous
and
to
thick.
move it too much.
Hold on a sec.
Okay.
You've
And
got a
super
big book.
thick. It is dangerous to move it too much. You've been very careful with it. The trunk that you move these books in is in the corner right over there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, so that would
Yeah.
be how I would transport it.
yeah,
if I
holy
did.
crap. Except
Oh, wow.
it's probably thicker than that
Whoa.
because that's probably the same kind of paper.
Cool.
That looks like parchment almost.
Yeah, that's cool. That looks arcane, too.
So yeah, that's
Sort of like that.
sort of like that, exactly. Except pages are missing.
Nice.
There's burns. There's stains on it. This book has seen some rough handling.
This is the.
What is that?
This is actually a. I forgot the name of the fellow who made it. It's a manuscript. This guy makes custom occult manuscripts.
Uh-huh.
This one is one of the props we use for our LARPs.
That's cool.
It just so
Cool.
happens that in the room where it is, so it was just immediately just off screen, as it were.
You've also got the Magus,
I'm raising
Ken.
my headphones.
You've also got the Magus, Kevin, which is also in English.
Okay.
So there's two
Um,
books in English, not including the Necronomicon.
Okay. Well, have you read any of these yet?
I forget. Have I? I think so.
Yes, I've written down the ones you've read. You have read the Book of Werewolves. You have read the Magus. Sorry. And you've done an initial skim of the Necronomicon. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you've gone through all the pages, you've kind of looked through it, you've noted the pictures, you've noted a few things in there in English, and kind of read a few pages. So you can do an initial scan that still costs you sanity and still gives you Cthulhu Mythos. And then when you read it all the way through, and you know what spells are in here as well. Your
Okay,
initial
so I've already
skim.
done that.
Yes,
I assume I've made those rolls.
there are no
I
rolls
don't know.
for just skimming
Oh,
it. No, yeah. It's the sanity loss, and your Cthulhu Mythos edition should have been given to you for the Necronomicon.
I'm a little unsure about my character sheet. How accurate it is, but
So
I keep forgetting to-
which of these did you like better then? Werewolf or the
Andy, what's the
Yeah.
Magus one
All right,
about?
let's see. The Amagus is comprised of two books, Sciences of Natural Magic and Magnetism, and the Kabbalistic or Ceremonial Magic. They're
Oh,
bound
that
as
one for sure.
The topics span the gamut from basic occultism, including demonology, alchemy, magnetism, candles, ceremonial magic, numerology, the making of talismans, astrology, biographies of important
Hell yeah.
occultists of the time.
Oh, brother.
Um,
Hello, brother.
this,
Yes, I want to read that. Me, I do.
It's a real book. It is a real book.
Oh.
This is a real book in real life. Let's see. I
What's it called?
think
Magus? Something?
The Magus or Celestial Intelligencer by Francis Barrett, 1801.
Magus?
And I believe you got one of these had the seance in it.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Hold on. Yeah, I think this was the one that taught you how to do a seance. Yeah, you've read it.
Makes sense.
This is stuff that also
Yeah,
could
okay,
turn
so
up
I
at
definitely
some point
point that
in the
one
Regency game.
Say
He
again?
belongs to that. This could stuff that could turn up in the Regency game too, because he belongs to that era.
Yeah, 1801. He's still probably alive in the 1811 Regency game. So
No,
yeah,
he died after 1802. We don't know precisely when.
there's no time limit. There's no thing that says it takes this much time to read this book because it's an actual book. As far as like, it's not just all these crazy notes that don't make sense that you have to go back and forth. The Necronomicon is going to take months to read, succinctly, really carefully. Whereas this book you could probably finish in 2 or 3 days. I'm sure it's very thick, but it's not like ridiculously. Book of Werewolves. is the first serious study of information regarding lycanthropic and cannibalistic myths and folklore in Europe. There are chapters in Norse shapeshifters, beliefs in lycanthropy during the Middle Ages. Jean Granier's got a story in there, international folklore, national cases of lycanthropy, mythological examples. The Marchal de Retz, another example, another specific person that was thought to be a werewolf. Crimes of the beggar Swiatek, stories of the Parisian ghouls. No spells are in this one that you could find. This one is a fairly short book. You could probably read it in a day or two. The werewolf book. I own a copy of it, actually. It's basically just each chapter's stories about werewolves. Supposed werewolves.
Since I have a lot of time, let's start with the thicker one.
The Magus.
Cool.
You could probably finish that before. If you read pretty consistently, you can finish it before the beginning of next week.
Yep, that sounds good. I seem to have plenty of time on my hands. So if you're okay with loaning out that one.
Okay.
Of course. Yes, I loved it. It was very fascinating, actually. So I think you'll find it interesting.
All right, then.
Perhaps we can discuss when you're done.
Absolutely.
And also, I kind of want to take a look at the werewolf book again and look at some point.
You've read it.
And
so you've gotten all the points for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Gave you some points.
Well, maybe I want to flip to whatever part is talking about the Parisian ghouls. Anything about ghouls? I want to.
It's pretty vague.
Just refresh my memory.
It's pretty vague, but apparently there's ghouls that live under Paris.
Right.
And sometimes
I know about
steal
the catacombs.
bodies. Yes, yeah, you would know. You'd probably know about the catacombs. You're educated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can do that.
So. All right. Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, I hand him the book.
And then you're still going back out to wander around town later that afternoon because that's going to continue as far as like your wanderings. And you can give me one more luck check, Miss Eldridge. And so I'm going to make sure that right now Shaeder has the Magus.
Yeah. 47.
You made it. You spot Alonzo. On the front porch. No, I'm sorry. Jimenez. I'm sorry. You spot Jimenez on the front porch of the saloon, which is a covered porch. Upstairs, it's got like balconies. It's just afternoon. His head is. He's sitting on one of the rocking chairs. He's got his feet up on the other rocking chair, and his sombrero's pulled down over his head. It looks like he is taking a siesta.
Nice.
You just had a nice lunch, Jimenez. His guitar's leaning against the wall. So you're taking a nap. You're taking an afternoon siesta.
Okay.
It's hot.
All right.
It's miserable. There's a breeze, so you're not getting too many mosquitoes bothering you.
Can I strum his guitar to wake him up?
Good question. I'm going to need a listen check from Jimenez. How about that? To see if you hear somebody walk out.
For something? Strum his guitar?
I'll strum his guitar.
That didn't even cross my mind.
Did you make your listen check, Jimenez?
Be funny.
I did not. I failed it, yeah.
Okay. So you're woken to the sound of someone strumming your guitar. Not a euphemism.
Wait, but he failed.
No, he didn't hear you approach. He didn't hear you sneak up on him.
Oh,
otherwise,
good. Okay,
clomp,
good.
clomp, clomp with those
Got it.
shin kickers that you wear. So
sure.
you're probably wearing some pretty solid. You're probably wearing some pretty solid, heavy, button-up, almost to your knee shoes. That was in the fashion at the time. And if you kick somebody with those, they're gonna feel it. It's not gonna be fun. They're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, like steel toe boots almost.
Not quite that bad, but yeah, they're solid shoes. Yeah. So you wake up to the sound of strum of a guitar right next to you. To your left is where you leaned it. Is the way I pictured it.
Trying to think. Oh. Yeah, he's gonna be startled by this. He's probably gonna reach for his guitar and try to take it like back.
Okay. Make me a dex check. You're startled out of your sleep. Isabella?
It's
Did you make it?
A hard success.
Okay, yeah. So describe this to me. How do you want it to look when you do you not even move your hat, or is your hand? Does your hand just come out and go for the guitar?
He is startled by the fact that someone touched his guitar.
Right. But I mean, how does it look? Does your hand just fly out and grab the guitar, and you don't move otherwise?
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Josie.
Did your hat fly off a little bit?
No, the hat doesn't move. He doesn't move. He's leaning there, and there's a hrum, and this arm just comes out. His left arm comes out and just grabs the neck of the guitar. Probably startling you a little bit. You hear what?
Yeah. I say, he hears Isabella giggle.
You hear a woman giggle. You also hear laughter coming from further down the porch. No, down the porch, where those two old men that hang out here all the time.
So yeah, I guess he tries to play it off a little bit, but yes, Miss Eldridge.
Oh, that was a good one.
As he slowly looks up from...
You tip your hat back real slow with the other hand.
Yeah.
Like a raise an eyebrow. Well, hello. Welcome back to the waking world. Sorry to wake you up. I just thought that would be fun. Okay, let's see. What am I doing? What are you up to today? Besides sleeping.
This is all I had on the plan book for today.
Oh, very nice. Relaxing. Well, would you like to meet the Mr. Hutton and Mr. Shaeder and I for dinner later tonight?
Sure.
Say 6 or 7, something like that.
Yes. Yeah. I see no problem in doing that.
Great. We have some things to discuss. So, yes. Just to resolve this whole wizard business, Mr. Hutton and I both had some unsettling dreams last night.
Okay. She say she got some lizard business?
Who's that?
There's two old men sitting down the porch on the other side of the Batwing doors. A little ways away, maybe 15, 20 feet away.
Them earlier.
They were laughing. They were laughing at Alonzo clutching at his guitar.
Okay.
I don't know. I think she said lizard business. What does that mean? Who has lizard? What is lizard business? I don't reckon I know.
I look over at them, kind of narrow my eyes.
They're talking to each other. They're not really paying any attention to you right now. Yeah, maybe you should ask her. I'm not going to ask her. You ask her. I don't know. I don't know her. Who is she?
Yes, lizard business.
Is that what
it's
you
none of
do?
your business, I say.
She did say lizard business. What's lizard business? The other one says.
It's none of yours. None of your concern.
Oh, she's awful hoity-toity, isn't she? Yeah. Just 'cause we're old men. Just leave us behind to die.
They're the two old coots on the front of the saloon. Come on.
They're usually there.
Stereotypical.
Yeah, they are kind of charming in a way. Anyhow.
Yeah.
So yes, I think that was all we discussed. Hutton and I, right? The wizard, the dream.
Yep, you only talked to him for a few minutes.
Yeah, that's all we
NPCs
talked about. So, yes, I think we should get this resolved and make sure that Wilkes can't hurt anyone else and can't come back. So, are you in?
Whatever. Mr. Hutton thinks is best. I am willing to help out.
Great. Oh, and also there's the whole people dying of a strange pox-like disease, which
the mosquito sickness.
not that any of us really know much about that sort of thing, I suppose, but
diseases come, diseases go. You can't
yes.
put any stock in them.
Well, I believe. I don't know if Isabella knows this, but
exactly.
If she does, I would say that I believe
no
Mr. Hutton is investigating. I don't know if I know that.
Know what?
I assume you. If that Mr. Hutton is investigating the disease.
Yeah. Nope. No. Nobody's really investigating the disease. It's just happening.
He is. He definitely is.
I
just don't know if that's in character or out of character knowledge.
I think the only one investigating any disease is you so far.
Okay, well then I'll just say
remedies.
Here we go.
That we should investigate this disease that is killing people, and maybe we can. I don't know. Never mind.
I don't even know. I don't even know how you would begin to do such a thing.
Logic? Talking to people? I suppose. I don't know. Maybe it's nothing we are capable of, but...
Diseases is merely God's will, is it not?
I don't know.
Your Catholicism is showing.
Perhaps.
I put pictures in NPCs of the two old coots on the front porch if anybody's interested.
Okay.
Anyway, let's meet for dinner at, 6.
Okay, and scene.
Thank you.
No, you can end it anytime you want. Sean, give me 2 ride checks. And then we're jumping to dinner.
Made 1.
So you make good time on the way to Seaton.
Ooh, failed the other. I want to try to push it.
Oh, yeah, you can. How are you pushing it? The pushing is just to see how well the entire trip goes. And don't forget to check ride, since you made the first one. How do you want to push an entire trip?
How the entire trip goes as a whole.
Yeah, it's just kind of like you made good time. If you fail this one, that means that you don't make as good a time coming back for some reason.
Yeah.
You push your horse a little too hard and it has to be slowed down or rested, or something happens. It's not like you're going to fall and break your neck, but...
I'm going to try to take a shortcut.
Oh, you're going to try to take a shortcut. Okay, so if you make the roll, you will get back in time to meet them around 6 p.m. You'll get back in time, actually, to kind of clean up a little bit, get the horse taken care of, all that stuff. If you fail, you're getting lost on the way back.
I'm good. I rolled a 21.
Oh, you did? Okay. So, yeah. So you make it back in time to actually, you take a shortcut, you're guessing, just seems to be the right direction to go. And it turns out to be a good shortcut, so you got that in your pocket now. If you ever need it again, you think, that's down the main road, but it is shorter. And yeah, all the 4 of you meet around 6 p.m. at the Saltmarsh Saloon. Shaeder is there already, probably.
Yep.
And I don't know, are you reading when they find you, or?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
Reading the book I gave you?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Nice.
What I've been doing all afternoon.
What's the book he's reading?
It does not have it doesn't have anything on the cover.
Okay.
The cover. Hold on.
No, and I think I remember now in game what he's reading, so it's not the one I wanted him to read.
Okay. The Necronomicon. Go crazy.
No.
Let's see. This one is the Magus. Yeah, there's nothing on the cover or the spine of this book.
That's fine.
It's got a black cover and then kind of a colorful spine. I can actually put the picture up at some point.
If there's not a title or anything about the book on the cover, Fernando doesn't care.
Moved him. Sorry, I put Kevin's character's name in. So the four of you meet, or the five of you, yeah, four. The four of you meet around 6 p.m. Shaeder's there first. The rest of you come in ones or twos. It is a Thursday night. It's not super crowded, but there are people eating, drinking. Regular night at the Saltmarsh Saloon. There you go.
Yep. I'll put the book away as people come and sit down.
Okay. Yeah.
That's polite.
How is it, Mr. Shaeder? Do you like it?
So far, interesting.
Good.
I'll confess, a few years ago, I would have taken it a lot less seriously. But I read with different eyes these days.
Interesting. I'm glad to hear that. Fernando comes?
So what was this that you wanted to discuss?
Wait, is Hutton there yet?
I think Mr. Hutton was taking the lead on that matter.
I think you have yourself muted, Andy. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't hear.
Sorry, everybody's there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great. Yeah, so, Mr. Hutton, go ahead.
This last evening, I had a dream of myself and Miss Eldridge in the Saltmarsh Gazette, and the Wizard Wilkes was, for lack of a better word, bursting back into our world. And with what happened yesterday, I believe he's finding ways back in.
Right. Yes, the cracks are starting to show. I sort of interpreted the window cracking as almost like a portal to our world cracking open.
Wait, when I mentioned my dream to you this morning, did you have the same dream?
Wait, didn't we say that? Yeah,
no.
I did, right?
No,
I didn't.
You guys never.
Sorry,
you guys never talked about that.
Yeah, you never mentioned.
You never mentioned. You said I had a dream about Wizard Wilkes too, and that's all you said.
Oh,
you didn't go into any details.
You just said that you were drawing.
But I had the same dream.
You said you were going to draw it, and then you guys could compare.
You had the same dream.
So.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have my sketchbook with me, with the drawing in it. So I'll take it out and show him what I drew. Probably like 2 or 3 little drawings on the same page.
Yeah.
One of the ghost in the window, which is what you and Bridget described, and then one of the window cracking and whatever other imagery was present.
I was hoping to give this more time to better plan, but I think we might need to get the paper that he described.
Right. I have been sort of working on that in a way. I don't know if my method would work. It may be more of a long-term strategy. But I did, I mentioned to... Was it Fernando or Alonzo that I told about the Temperance League? I can't remember.
You told
me
Alonzo.
about it, for sure.
Yeah.
I told Alonzo. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned to Mr. Shaeder that the ladies of the Temperance League sort of ambushed me the other day and tried to get me to join, which I sort of didn't commit or not commit to. I sort of just had tea with them, and
you let them assume whatever they wanted to assume.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that was smart.
And I just saw Miss Leroux, earlier. And now that my
I'm assuming she is one of the women you had tea with.
yes, and the widow, in fact, the damsels. Another lady is in it as well, but I haven't met her yet. And so yeah, Miss LaRoe said something about me staying at Miss Trudy's, which, as you must know, it's in the paper. Which
She
I
is a
wasn't.
nice lady. Miss Trudy.
She
She
is.
is a nice lady.
She is very nice. It's a nice place. They're all very nice ladies.
Yes, they most certainly are.
So it seems that she may have kind of read my mind a bit, because I didn't mention doing any sort of spy work, double agent spy work with Miss Trudy's. But if you think that sort of plan is feasible, I
Miss
could.
LaRoe seems like a town. How you say gossip?
Absolutely, she really is.
I think she is just a nosy person. So
I agree. Yes, she is. So that's an avenue we could pursue if you all think that it's viable. Otherwise, I'm open to other ideas.
well, I know I had mentioned earlier I may have had some means, but I afraid those means may not be so viable now. You may have already shown your hand too much, Mr. Hutton, at this stage.
That might be the case, but I feel possibly if I was bluntly honest, I might get more.
Oh, yes. I think that may be your best option at this point, as far as I can think of. I cannot think of any other way.
Unless we break and enter.
No,
steal
no.
it.
I think Mr. Hutton would be the first one on the suspect list, as he had already talked to her about it.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, let me understand this correctly. You fear that Wilkes will re-enter the world even though you failed to deliver him what he wanted over there.
He sounds like the man that will keep on trying to come back.
And destroying the page will prevent
pushing
this.
Boundaries.
And you think destroying the page will prevent this?
No.
Then what does the page matter?
I think if we bring him back and then stop him upon return.
Oh.
Oh,
wow.
I see your point. Summon him yourself and then...
Andy, question.
On the entry.
Do people typically carry guns around town? Or is it...
No.
Yeah, Fernando's right. No. Most people aren't armed. Alonzo's probably armed with a sidearm. He's an officer in the army. Sheriff's armed. Deputies are armed.
He's the only one that doesn't get looks, but if you ever tried carrying a gun throughout town, I know Fernando did at some point in time, and he would
most
get
people
looks
don't
from
just
town
carry
people.
a gun. They They probably have a gun, and they will get a gun if a gun is needed. Cunningham doesn't wear a gun. When you walked up to the livery stable with your rifle, nobody paid you any mind, and that's probably because they knew you were exactly where you were going.
Town.
Yeah, exactly. But in town, not many people are armed, at least not visibly.
I would have left my rifle in my room.
Right. When you had plenty of time to come back, get changed, put your stuff away, and that kind of thing.
And mine is actually worn in a covered holster with the flap over top, designed to keep the gun in place while riding.
Is it one of those ones that's on the opposite side too?
What's that?
Didn't the army have crossover?
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them, okay.
Yeah.
But most people are not armed on a daily basis.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
and just because
Cunningham,
I'm here, I'm technically here in an official capacity, so
right? Cunningham took a
I'm wearing a
gun.
uniform.
Cunningham strapped on a sidearm when he rode up to Burl, but
Yeah,
otherwise,
people
he
leaving town would normally take a gun with them.
yeah, there's no
Yes.
So
ordinance
not even
against it.
knives.
The Baldries, when they come into town, they always have guns on. Pickersgills, well, they weren't armed for church on Easter, but
That's
and you haven't really seen
church
them in
at
town.
Easter.
Yeah, you haven't
Yeah,
really seen them in
Yeah.
town. Um,
What about knives? Do people have knives?
more people have.
everyone has a knife.
Some people have knives on their belts. Usually, they're small utility knives.
Right.
Hutton probably
Makes
does
sense.
not wear his Bowie knife everywhere because the fucking thing is like a small sword, almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's huge.
And most people would have a pocket knife.
Pocket knife, that kind of thing. And those are in
Okay.
your pocket. It's but most people
Peel
do not have.
apples or
Some people
whittle
might be
something.
carrying a little stinger, little derringers might be hidden away in jacket pockets or something like that. Um, but who knows about that? How prevalent they are. A lot of guns are probably behind. Like there's definitely a shotgun
counters.
behind the bar here, and there's probably other guns in counters. There's probably some guns in the bank maybe, and
General store.
General store probably has one hidden tucked away somewhere. They're not real prevalent on the street.
Okay.
I bet you even Miss Trudy has a gun stashed away somewhere.
Probably.
I
Or two or four or
I,
six.
I feel we're gonna have to take this to an extreme.
Are you sure that's the only way?
No.
Well, I don't see how you could be tried for killing a man that is already dead. So
I think it's a risk to bring him back. Just, I understand what you're saying to get rid of him once and for all. It makes sense, but it also sounds like a risk because what if we can't kill him for whatever reason?
I don't know of any other way to stop him from entering from the Dreamlands other than to remove him permanently.
It does seem
We may-
like a great risk, but there is a point in your favor here. It seems like confronting him in the waking world would be far safer. He himself, as I recall, said that most of his magics are ineffective in the waking world.
Yeah, but
Yes.
he could lie.
Unless he lied about that, of course.
I just I don't know if there's a spell that blocks entrance.
Well, could we find out? Perhaps there's a way to do some
Well,
sort of research?
There's not a whole lot of text on those things here.
Right. Well, I have a few texts actually. That may have some information actually on the subject. The only thing is I can't read a few of them because they're in French and Latin. So I sent a letter today to the university to get them translated.
I read Latin.
Ah, you read Latin. Perfect. Would you like to borrow? Is there just one book, Andy, that's in Latin, or two?
Yes, one book. Only one is in Latin. The
Okay.
Demon
I
alla
tell him the
tre
title.
libra tres.
I tell him the title and mispronounce it or whatever, probably. And,
Make me a Latin check. Yeah, you probably do. Make me a Latin check,
a
though,
Latin
Sean.
check. What?
It's gonna be a
Okay,
Latin check to see if he can.
5%
No,
then?
no. Sean
No, not you.
needs to make a
Sean.
Latin check to see
Oh,
if he can
sorry.
put together from your mispronunciation what it might mean. You know what I mean?
Extreme success.
You believe that the translation is 3 books on the devil cult.
Oh. Okay.
Huh.
Would you like to borrow it? Perhaps it has something in it.
Yes, it could be beneficial.
She did mispronounce it horribly. She mangled the language. Unless you want to make a Latin check, Josie. If you succeed, then you actually pronounced
Yeah,
it
why
correctly.
Fuck it.
You have points in it?
She had 5.
Okay.
That's 3 zeros.
That's 100. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're lucky that you got it right. She got all these words totally wrong.
Wow.
You had to say, wait, could it have been this? And then she was like, I guess. And then you're like, or wait, maybe this? And she was like, that sounds better. Yeah, she was, okay. Yeah, she was way off on her pronunciation.
Sorry, I
of
shouldn't
it.
have done that.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just,
That's how it came out.
yeah.
I guess it worked anyway because I was already saying that I mispronounced
He
it.
knew what you were talking about. It all worked
He
out.
figured it out eventually, and probably, he's got a decent occult. He's probably heard of this book as well.
Cool.
I actually have no ranks in occult.
Oh, don't you? Never mind then. I thought you were after Bigfoot.
What?
Yes. No, it's.
No,
I have.
I thought he's even had some bouts of. Oh no, that's Cthulhu mythos. Okay,
Yeah, that's
never
Cthulhu.
mind.
I have no training in the occult. I have training in
Here's what I mean.
the. I have like anthropology. I took the like realistic approach to Bigfoot.
Gotcha.
Academic.
Wait,
So
so
if
am
I
I the
ever
only one who
actually
falls in the cult?
see a Bigfoot,
You might
I
be.
will go crazy.
I can tell you, Fernando's not.
You don't like the occult. Anyway,
All right then.
back to your
Yeah.
conversation.
Fernando's a hired gun.
You do eventually figure out what she's talking about, and here's what I'm looking for.
Well, if you like after dinner, we can. I can go pick up that book for you, or bring it to you tomorrow or something, so you can read it.
Do I, Andy? My shed that I live in.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a little like table I can sit at?
Yeah. Yep. Or you can sit in the bed.
Okay, I would.
It's pretty simple.
Okay, if you could, I would like to start reading it tonight. I'm staying behind the widow's home.
Okay, lovely.
Oh yeah, she's been there.
And I know it. I know this place.
Yeah,
I
you
know
were
where he lives.
you were at Danforth's house in her parlor drinking tea. Remember?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I've seen.
You know where it is. You guess it's around the back or
whatever.
nearby.
Okay.
And I take
Great,
it you've already finished the mages, so you know there's nothing in there that would serve us? Because there are chapter headings regarding necromancy.
That's where you learn
Yeah, I
about
wanted to
seances. That's the only thing that you got out of that when you read it. Because you've read the whole book, Isabella. You actually sat down and read it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not just skimmed
Yeah.
it.
Well, I haven't gotten to that part yet. I just saw the
he
chapter
hasn't.
headings.
Yeah.
In other words,
So
there's a chapter on necromancy that I haven't reached yet, but it's in the chapter heading, so I
Right.
know it's there.
And well,
Mhm.
so I guess necromancy isn't exactly a seance. It's related to seances, but mostly what I learned from that book was how to conduct a seance.
So the point is that
So-
what's in there won't help us. In this matter.
I could have missed something. It's good to get another pair of eyes, so perhaps
Well,
we should wait to do anything
I'll
until we
certainly keep
finish it.
reading. The point is, if there was something in there that you'd seen,
Nothing that stood
I
out.
would focus on that area first.
Also, I read it before any of this, so I wasn't really looking. It was more out of curiosity, just for some reading material.
Fair enough. Perhaps I'll skip ahead.
It wasn't. Yes, it wasn't focused on this task. So, yes, I
Fair
think you
enough.
should finish that book first, and then I can go to my library and pick up the Latin book that I don't know how to pronounce.
Okay.
And I can drop it off for you, Mr. Hutton, as soon as we finish dinner, if that works for you.
Thank you.
I'm also to understand
Great.
that apparitions have been seen at the office of the newspaper.
Yes, the young girl pointed out an image of a man in the window.
Would it be worth
Yes.
going to that second floor window and seeing if the thing appears again? Is that a thing that would teach us anything?
I would prefer not to be up there too long. It was disturbing when I slept up there earlier.
Naturally. Plus, if this is the same man, he would know you.
It's the same man.
And he would know you on sight.
Yes. And perhaps he can somehow enter your mind. I mean, he has done it through dreams before anyway, so...
Yes. But he didn't... we never encountered him face to face, the rest of us, did we?
Nope.
No.
Well, we just heard his voice.
If it's worth the learning, it might be that one or two of us station ourselves there of an evening.
It starts raining outside, by the way, everybody.
Of course, it's Washington State.
I just rolled to check the weather. I was curious. It's
that'll keep the mosquitoes down.
It's August.
It's August. It never rains in August.
August 9th. It's raining now.
It's called climate change, Josie.
Oh yeah, maybe it was different back then. I don't know.
It's just raining
now.
August. I mean,
well,
it's also Andy's dice rolls. He always rolls and it's raining.
Also, I mean, think about it. It's the 21st of May. I don't know how you guys are doing, but it's currently 50 degrees and raining.
70s here, actually.
Well,
and clear. It's been really...
We were in the mid-60s on my
way home. We got an inch
home.
last night, though.
And lows down to the 40s tonight.
It's been cool here at night, too, in the 50s.
Well, we had enough rain that a employee of mine had a tree go through their house.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so what is the plan for tonight?
Anyway.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
I'm going to read a book.
Station one or two of us in that space in the newspaper office and see if the man appears.
Oh, upstairs in the room? Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like overnight to sleep there? Or like an hour?
I don't expect to get much sleep if that were the case, but the point is that if the ghost appears and is visible in the window, perhaps it's also visible from inside the room and we might learn something. Actually, come to think of it, an occult roll help me here.
Yes, a occult roll could help you if it's a ghost. If it's literally a ghost, yeah. I'll give you some ghost info. What time, Isabella?
What time was the ghost seen?
It was during the day.
What time?
I missed by 3 points.
Before dinner? Like
there
afternoon?
Are coins out right now. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 coins. Fernando got a coin somewhere down the line. He did something that made me giggle.
I'll give one.
I'll give one.
Okay.
Then I guess we can get 3. So yeah, that'll make it a success.
Okay. In this time period, ghosts they look solid. You know what I mean? In most cases, you're not seeing a wispy figure. You're seeing like a person is just in the room with you, and it's like what? They also can create cold. Apparently, people feel them. Sensitives can feel them. Sometimes there are smells associated with them. Sounds, obviously, are the other thing. And
is there anything you can do to prevent a ghost from harming you? Like
ghosts don't really usually.
Such?
Certain ghosts supposedly harm people, or they curse them. You know, you see this one ghost in this one room, and something bad happens to you later. But physical, like attacks by ghosts, aren't really a thing, as far as you know.
Okay.
There are certain rumors of possessions, but that's pretty vague, and it's not really like mainline lore for this.
Right.
Yeah.
And how does one get rid of a ghost?
Your best bet for getting rid of a ghost is to, in most cases, ghosts are people who have been in some kind of violent situation, died violently or whatever, or murdered people violently. Sometimes they are connected to something in the material world, like a specific object. Sometimes they're connected to a place. In the case of it being a place, there's not much you can do. If it's an actual object, if you can remove the object, if you can give them justice, or somebody died and their bones are buried under a floor, if you can give them a Christian burial, that often in
None
stories.
of that helps us. Yeah.
Right. Not much
Well,
that you can really
and
think of
just
to get rid of it.
literal ghost therapy, just
No, I can think of
basically
one.
psychotherapy for ghosts.
I can think
That's
of
the
one way.
actual.
Oh, a
It's very
seance
bad
would be able to talk to a
idea.
ghost. You can think of one way. What is your one way?
Yeah.
Burn down the newspaper office?
Yep.
It's pretty
That may or may
extreme.
not work.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Fire
so that's
cleanses
so
all.
I'll so relate what I've heard,
Always.
and I don't know whether it's worth the doing.
Whether what's worth doing? Which
Staking out the office and seeing if the ghost appears.
I
Is that-
personally would
is that-
would suggest a seance, but that's just me.
Is any of this anything Mr. Cunningham would allow, Mr. Hutton?
Probably not burning down the paper.
Well, no.
I think he would be okay with someone being in the attic. I can ask.
Is he?
You have
Does he
keys.
know of the ghost?
Oh yeah,
or
I have
the
keys.
haunting?
Actually, I have keys to the.
You've got keys to the building.
He
You and all three of you have keys.
he is aware of the dreams I had.
Okay.
Is he aware of the ghost though? That's haunted up there.
I don't know that,
Hmm.
but he's aware of my first interactions with Wilkes.
It might behoove you then to speak with him, and if he is aware that the building is haunted, he might be prepared to join us in acting in that regard.
I will speak with him on my way back to my room.
Okay.
All right.
And if that's the case, then that's a thing we might consider.
Mhm.
It seems, though, if your theory is correct that he's seeking to break through, we should move more rapidly.
I agree.
Mr. Hutton, do you think you can finish this book? And I'll estimate with my fingers how thick it is, I guess. I don't know how thick it is, but I'll try to estimate. Do you think you could finish a book about that thick tonight, or do you need some more time?
You could certainly skim it, Hutton. You can give it an initial reading.
It would take more than an evening.
I figured. Shall we just mostly focus on finishing these books for the most part before we do anything else?
And wait for Mr. Hutton to speak with the newspaper man.
Yes, I will speak with him this evening.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we just perhaps, do you think by this time tomorrow we could meet up again and that would be enough time, or?
I hope so.
Okay.
So tomorrow night for dinner
Could at
is when
least
you
set
plan to
them
meet
up.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's
Think
good to
so.
set something
Yeah.
like that. That's helpful, actually.
Yes. Okay, so I think we have a plan then.
Okay.
Great. Oh, also I want to. Before we all disband, I want to say, do any of you know if there is a curio shop in town? I'm considering picking up perhaps some occult objects if possible.
I've been here the longest.
Yeah, you have. Hutton, you're going to need a hard luck check to have heard about anything like that.
I'll mention crystal ball, or perhaps a.
I got a
Antique mirror.
37.
That's a hard.
That's
Oh,
a hard
that's
for me
right, you're
because I got a
super
90.
lucky. There are rumors around town that there is a lady. You don't have a name, but there's a lady in town who reads fortunes with cards and palmistry, and that kind of thing.
Okay.
You've not heard of like a shop that sells stuff specifically,
idea
like
where.
stuff upon.
Yeah,
But he
say,
does not
when
have.
she
You do
talks
not have a
about-
name. People are very close-mouthed about this.
When she talks about a shop, Fernando mentions like the general store and how good like the guy there is at getting all kinds of things.
He's ordered stuff from Montgomery Ward for us all the time. It's great.
He was able to track down some mezcal for me. It is fabulous.
Lovely. Well,
So that's what you've
I-
heard, Hutton. If you want, I don't know if you
Okay.
want to relate that or not.
Yeah, I will. I don't know where to look, but rumor is there is some.
There's
do you remember
someone.
where you heard this rumor? Who else I could talk to, perhaps?
Not specifically. No.
No. I
You heard this weird rumor. Maybe Cunningham mentioned that there's a fortune teller or something in town, but he doesn't
Yeah.
know who it was. You asked a few people.
I think
People either
you are
didn't know
living in-
or they just walked away from you. Maybe they were offended by you talking about fortune cards, or maybe they knew and didn't want to say anything, but you don't really have any names.
I think you live somewhere where someone potentially may know. Miss Trudy,
Oh?
I would assume, knows a lot of this town.
Oh, a
If
lot of
not-
dirt in town. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
suppose they are more open-minded there. That's a good idea. Thank you, Fernando. I'll ask them tomorrow, unless I see them tonight.
Oh, Fernando gets a coin for a good idea.
But, yes, thank you.
I didn't even think
will
of
do
talking
that.
to
I
Miss
will ask.
Trudy and her ladies, but okay.
Fernando
So
has good ideas. He has a high education and
So-
high intelligence.
Isabella,
always
you
use
go.
it.
You're going back to Miss Trudy's, retrieving the book,
Mhm.
taking it over to the widow Danforth's. You find the shed. It's not really a shed; it's a little shack out back. Hutton is there. He can take the book from you there. Alonzo is continuing to read the Magus.
Yep.
So here's the thing: the Magus is an occult book. It's not a mythos tome, so you kind of got to read the whole thing through to get your bonus. But the three books of the devil on the devil cult, Sean, you can do your initial reading in just a 2 or 3 hours if you want.
okay.
What is your Latin? If it's at least 25, I'm going to let you not have to worry about making a roll.
It's a 20.
It's a 20. So I'll need a Latin check.
Come on.
Yeah. By Nicholas. Yes. No.
That's the wrong dice.
You dumbass. Nicholas Remy.
15.
Remigius is the name in Latin. 1595. Yeah, 15. You can make a You can make an initial reading. Loren Hutton. Let's put that down.
How do you always roll so well?
So
These dice,
Okay.
I don't know if they're poorly weighted or not, but they're like metal dice.
So here we go, Hutton. You take sanity loss from this. As you
Ah!
skim over it, it looks like Nicholas Remy, or Remigius, was a French magistrate and witch hunter. The book documents demons and witches whose title means 3 books on the devil cult. The information within is drawn from the 15-year-long witch trials in the Duchy of Lorraine, wherein 800 people were tried and put to death for witchcraft. The book includes citations of other authors and witch hunters, including Johann Weyer, as well as cases from archives and the trials in Lorraine. At the time, it was considered one of the most important treatises on the subject, along with the Malleus Maleficarum, which that was Cotton Mather's book. 6 sanity loss.
That is half of my current sanity.
Oh boy, you're
Oh
gonna
my
get
God, I'm
some
so
Oh my
sorry.
God.
another. You're gonna get another fucking indefinite. Since
I
this
had
is over
no
a
idea
course
that was
of
so
several hours, of like 3 or 4
Yeah.
hours, you're not gonna go crazy necessarily.
Oh my God.
You get 2 points in Cthulhu Mythos.
Yeah.
That's from your initial reading. There are some spells in this book, you think.
Oh shit.
Cause disease. He goes into great details how witches can cast a spell that causes diseases.
Here, let me get my.
There
let
is
me
a
get
spell.
notebook open real quick for this.
Write it on a piece of paper. There is elder sign. To create an elder sign to stop the movement of mythos creatures. Looks quite. It requires life.
That's perfect.
Healing. These witches were able to heal people via magic. Something called the Powder of Ibn Ghazi, which, from what descriptive text you can make out, makes, and I'm going to have to double check this, but I believe it makes invisible things visible if it is thrown over them, or maybe
What's
it holds
that, the
off.
powder of what?
Ibn Ghazi.
Ibn Ghazi.
I'm pretty certain
It's
that's going to
talcum
be.
powder, dude. That's all it is.
No, it might be something that holds off.
No, I'm going off of what was it? You that
Powder
was
of
talking
Ibn
about
Ghazi.
like the crazy
Throwing flour in.
D&D spells. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes invisible, makes magically invisible things, makes visible magically invisible things by blowing the powder against or over the invisible thing. And finally, there is something called Vorish Sign, which aids in the summoning of certain horrible creatures, gods, and other terrible things, if I remember correctly. Oh no, it works. It actually makes other spells either easier to cast, or you can cast them faster, or may increase the effect of those spells, is what you pick up.
Oh, so you could do that before a seance and make your seance better?
Yes, possibly.
Yeah, the Vorish sign basically makes other spells easier or
Right.
better.
It's like a
It's
booster
essentially
spell.
a meta magic boost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's what you get. None of these are like boom, quick spells. By the way, like even the cause disease is something that has to be prepared over time. I don't know
Cool.
exactly what, because there's a few of
It
those
was
types.
cause or cure disease?
Elder sign.
Cause
Cause.
disease, not cure disease. This
Just
is
making
just
sure.
like just get them, get them.
The elder sign seems like the best one to me.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that-
Thoughts?
yes,
those things-
indefinite insanity. You get an indefinite insanity for losing half.
Sorry. My bad.
There's also a lot of
He was
occult
getting
stuff in
into-
here. Once you actually sit down and read this, you're going to get points in occult too. If you survive and manage to read this, which you think it's going to take.
I don't lose 6
Probably
more
like-
points of sanity anytime soon.
Yes, you will lose if you read it again. You lose more sanity too. By the way, every time you can keep rereading Mythos tomes and losing sanity, but it will take. You're guessing it's going to take 6 or 7 months to sit down and digest this book.
I'll be
you know
gone
what I mean?
tomorrow if I try to read this thing again.
Well, no, you can't skim it twice. You have to actually. This was your initial reading, which can be very quick.
Yeah, I'll be gone tomorrow if I read this thing again.
No, you can
Yeah.
start reading. It's
Don't
not for
don't hit zero.
it's not
Don't
for
hit zero.
months. It's not for months that it takes effect. Anyway, yeah, an indefinite insanity. This thing talks about witches, demons,
Okay.
witch trials, people put to death by witchcraft, witch hunters, and then
Oh no, is he afraid of witches now?
he could be. It could be a terrible fear of witches or wizards. That would
He could
include
be afraid
wizards
of
too,
me.
by the way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a witch.
A lot of people were put to death, it looks like, from your skimming. Lists of names. It's pretty bad.
Mm.
Does it come with a phobia? Is that what the deal is?
It doesn't have to be a phobia, but he lost half his sanity. Those 6, he's down to 6
So it's
sanity.
something,
He's back in
something
single
changes in
digits.
his mind.
Yeah, this is that was a pretty good roll. So there's got to be some by the time he finishes reading this book, he's got a phobia or a mania. Maybe he wants to kill witches and casters. Or burn
I
them.
will be going to the general store and requesting the keeper
It's
of
the-
the general store.
It's the middle of the
get me
night.
I
Nobody's
know.
there.
I'm just saying, getting me a big willy.
They can't.
I'm gonna kill some wizards.
They cannot order you. They cannot order you a Gatling gun. That is not within their purview. The army owns those.
Okay, so I've got now a fear of witches and wizards.
Do you want a fear? Do you want a mania? Do you want to hate them?
Well, I've already got paranoia of things hiding in the darkness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got a lot of lamps burning in your room at night. You're going through the lamp oil pretty quick.
Yeah.
It makes sense to fear the Wizard Wilkes.
Yes,
which
I
is
have a
essentially
fear.
what
You
I
got a
think.
fear, a phobia of witches and wizards.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh shit! Do I count
Makes
as one
sense.
of those?
Not yet.
Because I know how to do a séance and
you've
stuff.
done a séance. Séance is it's up to Sean. It's up to Hutton whether or not he thinks you're a witch, and he'll be terrified of you. It's not a hatred of him. He's not going to try to murder you. Well, he might, but he's not going to do it directly because he's scared of you. And you, if he thinks you're one, and that's up to Sean. So that's our Thursday. Friday. Nobody
Maybe
had
if
any
he
dreams
thinks I
that
have
night,
bad
but
intentions towards him.
no, it has nothing to do with intentions. It's they're
Okay.
witches, so they're evil.
All right.
You know what I mean? They have to be burned at the stake, or thrown over a cliff, or drowned, or whatever. But his definition of witches isn't necessarily a medium, but it might be. The Witch of Endor was a medium. She saw the future.
I
You
mean,
know.
back in the day, witches were just women.
Yeah, but he's no. These are real witches he's scared of.
Yeah.
Not just women he thinks are hags. It's someone's casting.
Yeah.
I see
If someone
spells. I
can, if
see
he
something
probably if he
happening.
sees a spell cast, or if there's some legitimate documentation, or if he, or well, maybe that woman's a witch. She made me go lame. That might be
If
enough
I
for him
do
to be
what they
scared
want,
of him.
We'll see. I guess we'll see.
Anyway, one thing of interest. Nobody has any dreams that night. You don't have any odd dreams except for regular dreams. Alonzo probably did not get so wasted because he was reading that he
Yeah, if
could
something
probably.
catches my eye like that, I
Oh!
may just focus on it
Alonzo, give me a
to the
luck
point where,
check.
yeah, hold on.
Did you want to go to the Dreamlands tonight and hang out? And have
That's the point. Is
adventures.
that I may, if I get hooked by the book, I'm not going to get
Oh,
much sleep at all.
okay. So you're gonna stay up most of the night reading instead of going to the Dreamlands this time?
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah. Okay.
remember
Yeah,
when
makes
the whole
sense.
the way I built him is the point of the addiction is that it keeps him from thinking about other things.
Right.
So sometimes when he gets hooked by something that keeps his attention,
This book.
it just keeps his attention.
Yeah. If you
So if this
almost
book captures his attention, he's going to be reading almost all night.
if you get reading this book, you can probably finish it by Saturday. If you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go no sleep and I'm just gonna read as much as I
Yeah.
possibly
If
can.
it,
Yeah.
if it captures my attention, then I'm gonna read it marathon style.
That's up to
If
you.
I find it boring, I'm gonna start smoking again.
It is the Magus. It was written in
Probably
1801.
pretty
It's probably pretty thick. It's probably pretty heavy reading. So it's up to you whether or not you find it interesting enough. But there's a lot of information here, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a breakdown of it actually from the online source.
Yeah, it's a
And
real
it
book.
looks like the nice thing is it looks like it's got varied topics and smaller subjects,
Hmm.
which I think is going to keep him from getting bored at all. Because it's like you read
Okay.
on a subject, I'm like, oh, okay, that was interesting. If I stop, wait, there's another subject.
So you stay up most of the night, probably crash for a few hours in the wee hours of the night somewhere, when you
Yeah.
finally have to get some sleep, and then get back to it the next morning on Friday. Um, yeah. Okay, I got this. And that's not going to happen.
As long as I'm
Jimenez!
not-
Oh, God damn
As
it.
long as I'm not thinking about the things I'm trying to avoid, I do okay. It's just anytime I'm not focused on another task, the thoughts come back.
Right, exactly. No, I like that. That makes a lot of sense, actually. So you all are just planning on meeting at dinner time. Is there anything anybody wanted to do during the day on Friday, specifically?
I
mean,
want
Miss-
to talk to people at Miss Trudy's about the fortune teller
Oh, yeah. Okay.
or curio shop.
Can you give me a social skill? See if anybody is willing to
okay.
chat with you about this. They're probably going to be more open than most people in town, so it's not going. It's just going to have to be a regular success.
Persuade.
Persuade, charm,
Intimidate.
intimidate's
and
probably not a
fast
good one to use on your coworkers.
talk. Right.
And fast talk.
Also, probably not the best to use on your coworkers.
Yeah.
know-
Well,
I just don't know.
probably charm or persuade.
I don't trust this character. I've been looking at different ones I have saved, and I don't. They're the. I guess they look the same. All right. Looks
understand
like
why
my
anybody-
persuade is 50. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't understand why
Um,
anybody has more than one character sheet saved. Personally, Matt used to do that. And
I
always
didn't, and it wasn't on purpose.
okay.
I
Well,
just- Yeah.
okay. I can see that.
Okay. I guess Persuade is my best one.
Okay, yeah, you can try to
All right,
persuade
I'll
one of the girls to talk to you.
I'll persuade them to
Okay.
54.
54. You got 50?
Anyone wanna?
There are only 3
Oh.
coins out. Sorry. I think, wait.
You can
Yeah.
try and push it too.
You could try to
You
push
gotta
it,
think-
but I'll
you
need to know
gotta think
how.
of how you're gonna. Yeah, you're gonna have to think of how you would push it though.
Okay. Well, I didn't even really say initially how I was how I was going about this. Anyway.
You don't
Um.
necessarily have to. You were asking about this fortune teller, right?
Mm-hmm.
In town.
Yeah, like saying I had a rumor.
Mhm,
Heard
yeah,
a
exactly.
rumor
And
that
you're
there
trying to
was a fortune
see if
teller.
anybody knows about it.
Um.
Another question is, who are you asking? Were you going for Miss Trudy, or were you going to go for one of the some of the girls?
Let's say I see initially I saw the girls at breakfast or whatever,
Mhm.
and then maybe when that fails, I actually go talk to Miss Trudy herself. Does that
The
work?
pushed roll has to be done on the same people. You know what I mean?
On
If
the
you
same
start with the
people?
girl and you
Oh.
want to push the roll, then you have to like try to do something with those people at the beginning.
Can it be all of them?
Yeah,
Can it just
you could all
a
be at
bunch of people,
breakfast.
including Miss Trudy?
Yeah. If you want to push, yeah, I need to know how you're going to push, and then I can tell you what potentially might happen, or not. If you want to be surprised if you fail, that's the most fun for me.
I want to ask, like, do you ever have people like that? Entertainers? Anybody that does palmistry or reads tarot or anything at your parties and anything like that? Like, is there anybody that comes to town? You know, I heard about this fortune teller. Is that good enough?
That's
think
kind of
he's trying to
going
say-
off topic. You know it's somebody in town.
I think
know what
he's
I
trying
mean?
to push the issue. Yeah, but yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
yeah, I still don't know.
Okay. Damn. I'm not good at push rolls. I can never think of what to do.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to push. You don't have to get your information right here, right now, either.
Okay.
Maybe they don't know anything.
Whether this requires a roll or not, I also want to ask about any kind of curio shop. Obviously, not the general store, but like any
That would be
kind
the
of shop
same.
where there might be a crystal ball or.
That'd be the same topic. You're on the same
Yeah.
exact
Okay.
topic, so you've already
Okay,
rolled for
so
that.
still.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I tried.
Okay. Yeah. No. None of the girls know anything really about it, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
Hutton, anything you want to do that day? I know Shader's going to be reading.
I will go and speak with Cunningham and
Mhm.
update him on what we believe is happening.
Oh, okay. That the ghost of Wizard Wilkes is up there. You might be trying to come
Yeah.
back from the Dreamlands, because you've told him all about your Dreamland adventures and everything.
Yes.
You guys had a lot of drinks that day. Okay. If you guys want to spend the night up there, he doesn't care. He'd like to know who it is, who's going to be up there, and please ask him not to come down into the office. Is all.
Yeah,
He doesn't mind.
I would tell him if
You've
it's-
got a key, so
Yeah.
but the trapdoor's not locked or anything. It's it's not even locked. It's just
Is he
closed.
willing to participate in the seance?
No, you're not there when he asks them this.
Yeah.
You have to wait. If you want to do the seance, you have to ask him on your own.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I'm just-
mentioned that last night.
I'm telling him that it'd be Shaeder, maybe Jimenez, Miss Eldridge, and myself.
Yeah.
That would be who would be there.
Okay. Yeah, he knows Jimenez, and Shader's an officer, and Miss Eldridge seems like a fairly upright citizen, so he doesn't have any problem with that.
Okay.
You've got a key, and he trusts you.
Yep.
Jimenez, make me a spot hidden real quick. And you might have to remind me of some information that you know or don't know. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good.
No, it's a fail.
Okay, never mind then.
By 5.
Things are fine. Everything's fine. Okay. So if nobody else has anything specific they want to do, you guys can meet for dinner that Friday night. Yeah, Shaeder, you think you are going to be by if you push hard by tomorrow morning, you'll be done with this book. It's been
Okay.
very interesting. Like you've been like obsessively almost reading it, like focused.
Yep.
Unless they make you come and stay up all night in that little house. Anyway, so yeah, you guys meet for supper at the saloon and hotel.
Yep. Have I learned anything relevant from what I've read so far?
You got the Magus.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some stuff in here about seances.
Okay, not super helpful right now.
Okay, yeah. Um, Relevant to this, not a lot. Demonology has stuff about possession, as I'm going to assume. Alchemy obviously is alchemy. Magnetism, candles, ceremonial magic is also connected to the seance stuff. Numerology, ooh, numbers. There's all kinds of stuff numbers of people's names are numbers, and those numbers can tell fortunes and stuff. The making of talismans. Nothing that seems really closely connected, unless it is the Wizard Wilkes ghost, and then the seance could be useful. And I believe you know that
Okay.
that Miss Eldridge knows how to conduct a seance.
Yeah, I was in one.
Yep.
So,
So
all right.
yeah.
Well,
Okay. Anything that night that you guys want to discuss at dinner? Jimenez, no. I've been just wandering around town having fun.
Yep.
That's what I do.
well, first off, I'll ask Mr. Hutton: are the newspaper folks agreeable if we want to occupy the space in the of an evening?
I think Sean's on the
he's frozen.
phone.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Are the newspaper folks agreeable?
Yes. Mr. Cunningham has no issue with us being up there as long as we don't go into the offices.
Office.
That's
It's
fine.
one big room downstairs.
Yeah.
Well, then that
Why?
option is open
What
to
does
us.
he have in the office?
That's the office.
Everything. You've probably been in there, Jimenez. There's a printing press. There's desks.
Oh. All right,
You know,
all right.
there are no gold bars hidden away anywhere. Or whatever you're
That's fine.
thinking. I don't know what you're thinking.
He doesn't know
know.
what he's thinking, but he's like, we're not allowed to
He doesn't-
go in there. Why? What's he hiding?
Oh, he doesn't know us, so that's perfectly understandable. So it's that option is now on the table if we want it.
Yeah. Correct.
I've got nothing to add, I'm afraid.
Your readings are not coming up with anything?
No,
Either of you?
Nothing relevant.
You three can make spot hiddens. Everybody except for Loren Hutton.
Spot hidden roll. Okay, hold on.
Sure.
Does that include
Or
me?
psychology. Yes, that includes you. You're meeting for dinner.
For what is that?
Spot hidden is a success.
Spot hidden or psychology, whichever you prefer.
Uh,
Spot hidden.
Yeah,
Success.
you're at dinner. You've all met for dinner.
Actually, I have a hard success.
Hard success.
Mine's just a
spot
regular.
hidden. Oh, nope.
Okay. Regular success. Hutton seems really kind of freaked out a little bit today. That's worse than you've ever seen him. Like shaky. Alonzo, your hard success is he's got 1,000-mile stare. You've seen men like this on the battlefield. You saw men like this after that terrible night in the wilderness. Something's going on with Hutton, and he looks shaken. Miss Eldridge, dinner's great, delicious,
So garlicky.
and you're having a beer, and it's great. It's just the perfect amount of like
So
it's.
refreshing.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe
At
I
some
haven't
point-
eaten.
Do we
in a long
keep
time.
getting the lemon scented candle at our table?
Yes, you actually do. He keeps bringing that same candle or one very much like it.
Right. Goes great with the fish.
I forgot about that.
I
Okay,
was just
so
wondering
that's
if
what you
it's up in
notice.
my head.
Yeah, at some point, I'm gonna quietly, Mr. Hutton, are you unwell?
The
You do seem extra jittery.
Oh,
the book I perused last night. It has things.
oh.
Good
Oh,
things?
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
wait, no, not good things. By judging
What's
by
going
your
on?
reaction.
Ouch.
You mentioned the title. It was something about demons. It does sound frightening.
I'm gonna pull out actually my journal,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna try to write down the spells that I was able to pick out of it.
Yeah, you can jot them
Cool.
down as best you can. Understand
It's gonna be shaky.
them. Yeah, it is. Yes, his hand is shaking. You guys notice that as he writes it. He's very pale. He's only nibbling at his food. He's barely eating. He just seems he keeps looking around the room suspiciously. Because you know what? There could be witches anywhere, Hutton.
Especially in the dark corners.
Yeah, especially in the dark corners. And there are some in this room because they're just using, lanterns to kind of light the. It's a big room.
Yeah.
That light flickers and the shadows dance.
So he writes down cause disease, elder sign, healing, powder of Ibn Ghazi, and Vor's sign. And he probably turns the journal your way so you can see, and might have written a couple notes under each one, like assists other spells, invisible revealing powder, elder sign. He probably wrote something about stops evil, stops witches, probably
Can I
something
point
like that.
out? When I look at it,
Underlined it
I wanna
several
point out-
times.
I want to point out
Listen.
the Elder Sign one.
Yeah, stops witches.
Ah, what about this one, Mr. Hutton? This sounds potentially helpful.
Potentially.
Well, you read it. What do you think? Do you think it could work for Wilkes or?
I perused it.
It's all right. Miss Eldridge,
Okay.
please
Okay. Well,
don't push.
perhaps I should take the book back.
Feel free.
Do you have it with you?
It's a good question.
No.
Yeah, it's probably
Okay.
still on the table.
Well,
on the
if
floor
you
where you
like,
threw
you can drop it off.
No, he would have left it on the table.
I know, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I can come pick
And
it
then
up
looked
after
at it
dinner,
just like-
or perhaps I should pick it up after dinner. Then this
Yes.
sounds troubling to you.
I think that would be best.
Okay. It's too bad none of the rest of us know Latin. So we can share the burden.
I already speak 2 languages. What more do you want from me?
Well, it's unfortunate that none of my books are in Spanish. Otherwise, that would be very helpful.
That would be helpful.
Fair enough. So this is
All right. So no help then, I guess.
no.
Only harm.
You've done your share and more, Mr. Hutton.
Ah, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry, Mr. Hutton. I
It's okay.
didn't know.
Yeah, he's.
I want to see this through to the end.
Right.
If that's the way
Okay.
you feel.
I will be ordering a Big Willie.
Helpful.
You can't order the big one.
If we are going to attempt to see if the ghost manifests, I think, Mr. Hutton, you've done your share for the present. Perhaps best to leave that to some of the others.
I guess.
I think I will be okay. If the wizard were to manifest, I have seen him. I'm expecting it.
Okay, as you please.
It may even help him in the end to confront this as well.
Possible.
Oh. Yes.
Well, if the man says he wishes to see it through, then he wishes to see it through.
Yes, it's of course up to you.
So what are y'all
Or it's
doing?
going to drive him completely into...
Yeah, what's the plan? What do you guys want to do?
I
Did
don't have
Shaeder
another
finish
route
his
forward
book?
unless we can secure the paper. And I don't see how to do that absent, well,
Oh.
I don't see how to do that absent simply taking it, which seems like a poor choice.
Wait, what are you talking about now?
The paper.
The newspaper.
The actual
no.
paper with
Seal
all the spell or whatever on it. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the paper, the newspaper building.
I did too
Okay.
at first.
Now, of course, you are right that if the newspaper was stolen, Mr. Hutton would be the prime suspect. So the only way that can be done is if he is very visible at the time of the action.
But maybe the widow would be willing to part with it if she knew that it contained a spell, since she is the leader of this temperance movement here in town. That doesn't sound like something she would be something she would want to have in her possession.
Right.
Maybe.
I would love to know how much she knows about Wilkes and whether she knows he's a wizard or not. Because that would be scandalous.
They were quite close in his life.
So you suspect that she might actually know?
I don't think she knows of the magic. But I think they had a romantic affection.
Right. Yes. What do you think given the temperance thing, I mean, Alonzo makes a good point. What do you think she would say if we actually told her the truth about Wilkes? Would she...
Well, what is this temperance movement? It sounds like she doesn't like to have any fun.
Temperance is a resistance to alcohol
and sin as a whole. It's very Christian, very religious, very strict.
It's also often the purview of people who preach against the sin of drunkenness while getting as drunk as humanly possible.
Oh, yes. Hypocrisy, right. That's true. Hypocrisy is quite an issue in the temperance movement.
So I do not think at all that the fact that she's involved in such a movement would have anything to do with her attitude towards Wilkes' other less godly practices.
Thank you.
Since she loved him so much, it sounds like it might not matter even if she doesn't know about this whole magic thing.
From what and here I speak only from my own experience primarily in San Francisco, you'd be amazed perhaps how people are perfectly capable of saying that they hate a thing and then being perfectly happy to use it. Right. How many people do I know? Quite a few. Who campaign against the Chinese and then purchase their opium.
Right.
Who say, get the filthy buggers out, and then go to them for services, food, laundry, and drugs.
Yes. So do we think that it is not worth our time to be honest with her about Wilkes, then? Do we avoid that?
I personally don't think it accomplishes anything. I think that if she did not know, she wouldn't care if she found out.
Okay.
That's just, I don't know the woman, so don't take my word for it. But my experience with those who preach morality.
Now, what would it do any harm, though, if we did.
It might alert her to an interest in the paper, which she then
She's
might guard
already-
more carefully.
She's already been
Well,
alerted
kind
to the interests of the paper by Mr. Hutton going to talking to her about it.
Oh, yes,
I mean-
good point.
And if she does know, then what that paper actually is, then if we let her know that we know, she might actually use it. Perhaps she's capable, we don't know. Perhaps she could actually use it to bring him back.
I
Who knows?
don't think she's aware of the spell hidden within.
How do you know?
I'm going with my gut.
Mm,
Well,
Well-
then it seems the best way
Well-
to get it is by clandestine means.
stealing it, then? Is that what you mean?
Fernando must woo the widow dance.
No. Sorry to
Or
interrupt.
that.
Keep going. You guys are doing
That
great
could work.
role play.
That's a good
Play it.
idea.
Clandestine. Something God will just hand over to us?
What word were
can
you
give it
going
a
for?
shot.
I'm not even sure I know what the word clandestine means, so I don't think
I
Fernando
kind of
does.
don't either. I forget.
By stealth.
Okay.
That's kind of what I thought.
Hutton would, of course, be the first suspect if anything happened. Therefore, Hutton needs to remain very visible while any such action is being taken.
Does it matter if he's a suspect, though? I mean, what's
So it sounds like Mr. Hutton needs to woo the widow dance forth while I sneak in and take the picture.
No, Mr. Hutton remains here, very visible among a crowd of people. So he is clearly not the one responsible.
who cares if he knows?
Jimenez, while I think your plan is good, she is not my type.
So you can
And
pretend she
I-
is. It doesn't matter if she actually is or not.
I do not judge, Mr. Hutton. I do not.
I do not think I could woo someone who I believe was in love with a racist.
Oh, that's fair.
Mm.
What about you, Fernando? You're better at charming and deceiving. No offense.
No, I do not think I could.
Okay. Well, I guess that leaves you, Mr. Shaeder.
Yeah, I'm no.
All right, let's not go that route then.
No.
What's the
if-
plan? What are we to do? What are our options now?
So
If-
Mr. Hutton needs to stay visible at the saloon at all times.
Or at least while
Or-
any such thing is taking
Or
place.
whenever this is to take place.
Are we
Exactly.
breaking in? Is that what we're doing? Is that
Are we speaking about this in the middle of the damn saloon?
Yeah.
quietly, hopefully, if there's people around? I mean,
Of course,
It's
quietly.
a Thursday. It's a Friday night. It's not a Saturday night, so it's not super crowded. But there are
And-
people in here eating, drinking. You know,
And
Hushed
I've got a corner table because remember I've been here all afternoon.
yeah, it's not
So
super
I've chosen
crowded.
I've chosen the table.
If you guys watch your tenor of
That's
your voice, you should be fine.
yeah, we would not want people to hear this. So, I
So-
mean, I think it's obvious we're trying to
Okay.
keep it under
I mean,
wraps.
it's an option. I don't know. This is really. I'm willing to help in these matters, but I'm way out of my depth here, to be honest.
May I? So, okay, Andy, what day does the paper come out?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday morning.
Oh, God.
It's a morning paper,
So
and
it's
here in town.
Friday right now.
Oh, we
Yeah.
can't.
Today's
make
Friday.
that. I don't know if we
Friday.
can wait that long.
Yeah, it's a day after the paper went to press and everything.
Okay.
You've been doing your job today, basically, Hutton.
Yeah.
Very shakily, but you know, interviews, talking with people, trying to dig up information on whatever is going to be next week's stories.
Mm.
Shaeder's been reading all day.
Oh,
Miss Eldridge's been teaching. Fernando's been lazing around town,
Mm.
making a little money here and there, and just hanging out.
If you if you think it would help, I could find a way to make myself scarce for a couple days, and make it known that I am not in town.
It's
True.
probably better, honestly, if you were quite visible. If I were someone seeking to answer for a crime, and the man I suspected had announced his leaving town, I would suspect a ruse.
Right.
But if that man was, say, visible here in a crowded room, there'd be no doubt that he wasn't involved.
Then I will keep myself local and around crowds as often as possible.
Precisely.
Okay. I have an
So
idea.
I've perhaps read a few detective novels, starting with
Now,
Cabo.
Andy, I feel like I've mentioned to this group before, in character, something about my relationship with this Ada, the ghoul. Haven't I?
I do not think so. You might have
No?
mentioned it in passing, but nothing specifically.
I mentioned an interest in ghouls, at least, probably.
I don't remember, to be quite
And
honest.
even
In
if
the
you did, I'm
Dreamlands,
not
I mean.
say you may have in the Dreamlands, but I'm not even sure Fernando was there when you mentioned it.
Right.
I feel like maybe in the library or
The library was all over. That's pretty vague.
I don't remember.
Like I
You
Okay.
guys
think
spent like a week in that fucking library, so.
Yeah.
And you were all
Either
separated.
way, it's been a while anyway, so.
It has been a
Okay.
while. At least as far as the Dreamlands go, it's been months since you would have mentioned it. And that's where you first met
Okay.
them. You haven't mentioned any of it since you've returned.
Okay.
So likely
well-
if you did mention it, it's been forgotten.
Okay. I want to bring this up again now.
Mhm.
Now, gentlemen, I don't know if I've mentioned this
Me too.
before. I may have, but when my good friend Eleanor died, she's actually the one who left me that library. When I went to, well, I didn't quite make it to her funeral, but when I went to the town she was living in, some weird things happened, and I actually met a ghoul in the graveyard. It was very spooky and macabre. But
Yes,
I met a
it
ghoul.
can be.
She was not. She did not harm me. She had no malicious intent. She actually wanted to help me, and told me
Just
that I
like-
could call out for her and try to contact her if I ever needed assistance, which was sort of vague. And I've never actually tried to do that. So I thought maybe I
at
could.
what cost?
Hold on.
At what cost?
Yeah.
I don't
Everybody's
know.
gonna if you have not met any ghouls, I'll need a Cthulhu Mythos roll to see if
Yeah,
you
no.
recognize that what she's talking about is a creature and not just some horrible person or someone who
Some of
potentially
you have
is a
met ghouls
cannibal.
before, right?
Jimenez has, Hutton has. Hutton, you've met ghouls. You know what they are.
Okay.
So you know exactly what she's talking about.
You
Shaeder has
talked to
not.
one, You
Yeah.
talked to
No.
one.
And do you have any
like-
Cthulhu Mythos, Shaeder?
Nope.
Okay. So as far as you're concerned, when she says she's met a ghoul, that could mean a grave robber. It could mean, Resurrection Man. It could mean a Resurrection Lady in this case. It could mean a lot. You're not going to make the connection because you've not read anything about ghouls in the Magus book either. So just
You probably
keep
think I'm talking about a human.
keep the
Could be,
just
well,
a person
could be,
who's
could be a supernatural creature. Could be a person.
right. Okay, yeah, it
Right.
could be
It's
since
a-
you've
it's
seen a
a
lot of
review for
you have
both.
seen a lot of shit. So yeah, but you don't.
Also, I just read just I also read things like detective novels.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So
I've read
yeah,
some-
Probably
just-
some of the
I've
So
read
just-
some
paranormal.
pretty campy shit.
so yeah, keep that in mind, Alonzo. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were talking about
Yeah.
calling her, and
Hey.
Fernando just asked you what the cost would be.
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't know.
I don't. She didn't mention a cost. I didn't think there was. I don't think there is a cost. Perhaps there is one.
There's always a cost.
Well, we are running out of options, it seems to me, so I figure it's worth a shot, even if I just do it by myself and call her and, invite her over for tea. Have a conversation.
What would you
see if
ask
she has
of
any
her?
ideas. What's that?
What would you ask of her? You just see if she has any ideas?
Explain the situation to her. I would just explain everything and our dilemma and see if she has any ideas or any way to help, basically. I don't know what she knows. But he could potentially help us. I think it's worth a shot.
If you think it would work, yes, I don't see a problem if you want to do it yourself. I really don't want to be there.
Fair enough.
I've seen enough of them. I don't need to see any more.
Well, I met her multiple times alone in a graveyard at night, so I don't really have that much of an issue.
I was on a ship with several. I was on a ship with several.
Oh, really? Friendly?
And that is all I will say on that. I may discuss more in a more private setting, but not here and now.
Understandable. All right. Well, perhaps I suppose tonight I could, at midnight at the graveyard.
It does have to be done in a graveyard. You know certain words you have to say.
Okay. Well, whatever I know about it. I could contact her tonight and just have a conversation, and then we could meet tomorrow, and I can relay whatever information I get.
I don't know if I can let you go into a graveyard, though, completely unaccompanied.
I've already done it. I was fine. It's all right. And I'm choosing to do this. So
I understand, but should something happen,
you're welcome to accompany me if you like.
Graveyards are a terrifying place at night. I might stay within earshot at least.
I would feel better if you were not there alone.
But I really don't want to meet Anna.
Ada.
If you want, I'll come with.
If I am fine either way. If either of you want to accompany me, you're welcome to. It's your choice.
Do you think you could handle meeting with her? Have you met her enough that
me?
The sight of her will not drive you mad?
I was hoping you were going to say that.
All right, Andy, refresh my memory. I probably lost some sanity, right? At least the first time?
Yeah, you're going to have to make a sanity check, and if you fail, you lose sanity.
So I don't remember how my rolls went, because that was forever ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
But how high is your current sanity?
Yes.
And are you willing
that could be important.
Damaging it?
It says 29.
So you don't have to tell me the number. I'm just asking, like, if you're willing to damage it, I don't care.
That's a small number.
Hold on.
I didn't know if you were
I want to do it. I've never done it. I want to do it.
All right. Say, I didn't know if you were like Hutton, so I didn't want you to risk losing half your sanity and
she's risking. She's risking.
I'm risking.
That's fine.
If you want, I will go with you. If you prefer not, then I'll honor that. So you tell me what you prefer.
I mean, I don't want to risk harm to either of you, so...
I will stay at the edge.
Okay, then
Like I said,
I'm fine with
within
that.
earshot.
I'll remain with Mr. Jimenez then.
Okay, that's perfect. That sounds good. I will be the only one to speak with her directly.
Is Loren
and
going?
witness her.
I'm not even bringing
No.
up Lauren's name.
No, Lauren's not allowed to come. He's not
Okay,
invited
okay.
By the way,
because he's too fragile.
I don't know if you noticed, but I posted a cover of the sort of shit that Shaeder sometimes does read.
You found something. That's awesome.
Oh, I had some of that stuff in mind already.
Um,
In particular, Varney the Vampire.
Varney the Vampire. How common was that in the U.S. though?
Oh, it's
Because that was from the
fairly
40s.
common.
That was from the 1840s in
Oh
England.
yeah, but that's mass market. That's mass market media.
Yeah, I've got a
That
copy
gets
of that.
floating around.
I've got a copy of
Yep.
Varney the Vampire. My God, it's boring.
Yeah, it's not
So
great.
bad. I couldn't make it all the way through the second book.
It's
Okay.
actually a bit of a running joke from a completely different character too.
Oh, really? Okay. That's not surprising. It's a tough read because I just got bored with it, especially the second
Yeah.
book.
Basically, a
Okay.
White Wolf character who didn't know he was a vampire, who claimed once that he first learned the term vampire by reading that novel while on a train. But he had never heard the word vampire until he read that.
Gotcha. So Miss Eldridge is going to go in to cast the spell. Fernando and Alonzo are going to stay on the edge of the graveyard, the Saltmarsh graveyard, and kind of just keep an eye on if she starts screaming or something. They're probably gonna go in. Okay, yeah. So
It's
you've never cast the
10
spell,
o'clock.
Miss
Do
Eldridge.
we
Yeah.
want to wrap this up before? Do we want to stop here?
This
Yeah,
is
that's a good question.
cliffhanger, maybe.
I was
Something.
hoping to finish up because there was something I wanted to end on that potentially could
sorry.
happen tonight. But we could end here, and with
I'm okay with going a bit further if you like.
I'm fine with going a bit further if everybody else is okay with it. I mean, it should not take terribly long to deal with this, and she might not actually be able to get the spell cast, potentially, because we need a hard power check from you, Miss Eldridge, to cast the spell.
Okay.
The cost, the initial cost, I've got a magic point cost, but that could change if you end up trying to push the spell. So I need a hard power check as you. It takes 1d6 plus 4 rounds to cast this spell, so not long, like 30 seconds maybe to
Yeah, like
chant
half a
this
minute
out or
most.
something like that. As you are in the graveyard.
I gotta beat a 17.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember, this spell is in the notes of the Necronomicon. That's where you picked it up from, partially, and partially from Ada. She taught you. So you can relearn the spell if you have to.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
risk more sanity.
You've looked through the Necronomicon. Oh, yeah. It always risks.
All right, I'm
It's
doing
always
it.
going to risk some sanity.
Say casting spells is always a risk of sanity.
Oh, always.
17.
And if you push, did you make it?
Yes!
There are some
I
coins
got
in
an
play.
8.
You got an 8.
Oh,
Nice. Okay.
Almost extreme.
All right. So this
One
is
more
going to
point
cost
extreme.
you 3 points of sanity initially, 5 magic points.
And mark that you know how to cast
Yes, you know how to
the
cast the spell. You don't have to roll anymore to cast it. Um,
How many? What? 3 sanity and what?
3 sanity, 5 magic points. Those will come
5
back, of
magic
course.
points, yeah.
And you know, and that's how many it's going to cost in the future to cast called Contact Ghoul. Something does come out from one of the mausoleum. There is one mausoleum in this cemetery. Yeah, let's take a look at the cemetery. Yeah, there's
Yay,
one
I did
towards the
it!
back. Couple little private areas with some fencing, and now Jimenez and Shaeder, it's up to you if you want to keep a close eye on her, whether or not you see what's going on.
I'm more listening. I know what to expect.
It'll require a spot hidden if you want to try to see whatever she's done, but you do hear the
I'm doing
creak.
the same. I'm listening.
Okay, you do hear a creak of metal coming from further back towards the back of the cemetery. Miss Shaeder, something kind of lumbers slowly towards you. The skin is
Fernando
rubbery
actually may
and
be
black.
purposely turning his gaze away from that.
Okay, yeah,
noise.
that's not a bad idea. It has a canine-like snout on the front of it. It smells. Oh, the stench! You'd forgotten about the stench of rotten meat that just seems to cling to these things. Um,
It's so pungent you can taste
the
it.
it doesn't
Blech.
it the feet. It doesn't have feet per se. It has more of hooves on its lower extremities as it comes over towards you. And its skin, its whole body had a kind of a nasty, terrible rubberiness. Make me a sanity
Really
check.
creepy.
This is pretty horrific.
I already lost sanity though.
I know.
Damn it.
That's the problem.
Fair enough. Fair
Let me
enough.
get my die out.
Oh no,
Hold on, let me make sure I'm looking at
that's
the
a
right
fail.
thing. Ghouls. Okay, yeah. That is a fail. Okay, here we
How
go.
much do I lose?
Let's see. Only 2. Not bad.
Okay.
2 and you lost 3
You're
before.
still above 20.
Is that
I also
20?
lost-
Is that 20% of your sanity?
She's lost 7 altogether.
I don't know because
No,
I'm
she
not
lost.
sure
it.
if my sanity is
lost
29 or 24.
She lost 5 earlier.
We're gonna say
and she
29.
just-
So that means
Fine.
I
you'd have to
remember
go.
29. She
You'd
lost
have to
5
hit 6.
earlier, and then just 2 more, so 7. So she should be at 22.
One,
Six.
Whoa,
22
whoa,
out of-
hold on. Where'd the 5 come from?
because
5 from the
3
spell.
from casting the spell and 2 from seeing her.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
That's a total of
Total.
5.
And then I lost 1 on a different day before this.
No, you just said she
For
lost.
something else.
You just said she lost 2 from seeing the ghoul.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she lost
And
3 from
3
casting 3 from casting the spell.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
The
5 from casting.
No, it was
the spell.
3. That's
Okay.
why I was confused because you were saying 5 and
Okay.
adding other numbers to it. So it's
Yeah.
a total
Okay,
of
that's-
5. You have
You got
29. So
The
that's
magic number was 6.
yes. So you do not get another indefinite insanity quite yet. So very good.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're okay.
Just
This is
Um,
very lucky
um,
considering.
I mean, you're okay for a certain value of okay.
what? What is it? Who are you and what do you want from me?
You don't remember me?
That ain't Ada.
Ada.
That's not Ada.
What?
That is not Ada.
I was.
It's
calling for
another
Ada.
ghoul. Her name is nowhere in the spell, and you might have
What?
assumed that Ada was coming. This ain't Ada.
I meant to say her name though, to call her specifically.
You could have, but
Okay.
This
I,
ain't
I
Ada.
definitely mentioned her name in this.
okay,
when I
you
was
definitely
doing
mentioned her
stuff.
name. This ain't Ada.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
It's all hunched over.
Oh.
Big claws, real big, scary-looking claws.
I thought I was calling Ada. I'm sorry.
Who
I'm
is
Isabella.
Ada?
What's your name?
Who is Ada?
Another of your kind that I met in.
Is that her only name?
She has a last name.
What is it?
I tell her the last name. I tell him it the last name, which I forget.
Okay.
It was something famous, right? It was one of those.
Part of the Donner
I
Party.
forget the name of the
It was,
family.
yeah.
Donner. Ada
It
Donner.
wasn't.
Is that
No,
right?
it was not Ada Donner. It was one
It
of
was
the
a
other
different-
Germans
okay.
that were part of the Donner Party who
I thought so.
were wiped out mostly.
I mean, do I need to roll to remember her last name?
No, I'm not going to make you roll to remember her last name.
Okay.
But I have to find it as well. But you say it. Well, it'll be in the role-playing journal.
Yeah.
Is that what you wish? You wish me to find her for you?
I thought I was calling her.
You
so
weren't!
yes.
Idiot!
I apologize. This is the first time I've tried this.
You speak much, but say little. Do you wish me to get this Ada for you?
if possible, unless you're willing to help me.
He
with
kind of
what I
gestures at the
need.
ground in front of you,
Okay.
and he says, "You've brought me nothing, and you wish my
Oh.
help."
I can bring you something if that's what you require.
A body.
I didn't know I.
Preferably
Uh,
one that's been dead for a week or more.
Oh, there's plenty here. Just, you know.
These graves are filled with bones or old flesh, or they're empty. And then he kind of picks at his teeth when he says that to you. And he licks his lips with a big black tongue that's pointed.
Ugh. Um.
Which, next time that you cast a spell, you should be ready for what comes. Or you might not like what comes. Now,
Oh,
what is it that you wish of me, and I might help you if you bring me suitable payment?
Can you. Is there any way that you can kill a wizard or stop one from coming through a portal if they're in the Dreamlands? I didn't articulate that very well, but I try to get to the point, I guess.
Kill a wizard coming through a portal from the Dreamlands. Are they coming through a ghoul portal, one of ours, or are they coming through something else?
I didn't know that was.
I don't care what you
thing.
know or what you don't know.
I don't
Yes
know.
or no?
I
it a
am
ghoul
not
portal?
sure, but I don't think it's a ghoul portal, whatever that is.
We
It's
have our
a-
own ways to the Dreamlands, you see.
Yes. Does that require a ghoul to open it? Is that what makes it a ghoul portal?
He nods.
I don't think it's that then. It's a spell
Yes, I
written
understand. Portals.
in code in a newspaper.
I don't know
that
of any way of
requires-
stopping such a portal as you speak of. I am not a wizard.
Oh. Okay. What if is there any way you could travel to the Dreamlands to just kill a wizard for me if I pay
So
you?
you would send me to kill a wizard, having brought no tribute, having brought nothing.
Well, if I can get you a tribute later?
What
I
wizard
didn't know I needed
are you
one.
wanting killed?
The wizard Lucian Wilkes.
I do not know where the wizard Lucian Wilkes is.
He is
No
in
one
a
does.
town. He is in a town in the Dreamlands of his own creation called Wilkesboro that is based on this town, Saltmarsh.
I've never heard of this place.
No one has.
Well, how would I kill him?
I
In
can
that
tell you where it
case.
is and how to get there. I don't know how you travel.
I don't want any truck with other wizards. I'm having enough trouble with you.
Okay. I was really hoping to talk to Ada, though. She seemed willing to help me, and you don't seem that willing, so.
She's spoken to you before,
Yes.
and
She told me that I could call her if I needed help.
and you didn't drive her mad then.
No, she was very kind and helpful. She was very willing to help,
Return
unlike you.
to this place tomorrow night. Bring something worthy.
Can it be an animal?
He just gives you
Could
kind
I-
of a look.
I could shoot a deer for you. That's easy. I've gone hunting before.
No. No.
No, you don't eat deer.
A body, a baby, a woman, a man, whatever.
Has to
Make
be
sure
human.
it's been dead for a week. I don't wish to wait.
Okay.
Not enough of you
but-
die here.
I may be able to find something like that.
Good.
There have been some deaths in town.
Good luck.
So,
Someone will come
all right.
tomorrow night. And then he turns and he just kind of stalks away. He seems irritated and angry.
Bring Ada if you can, and I'll bring
he
you.
he just kind of gestures with one hand, kind of a throwaway gesture as he heads back over to the that crypt, and you hear the door slam behind him. Thank you, sorry, bye. You made a very bad impression on that guy.
Apparently, jeez, he was not nice.
You guys hear the slam of metal on stone.
Did they hear that conversation?
Probably not. They are pretty far away. So they probably heard you talking, and they might have heard a second figure. Oh, Isabella, give me a luck check.
Oh, no.
No. All three of you can give me a spot hidden check. Loren Hutton was hiding behind a tombstone. She's a witch.
No, he's not there.
Alonzo, you made the spot hidden. Isabella, did you make a spot hidden?
Oh, was I supposed to?
Everybody,
I made luck.
Everybody can make a spot hidden. Yeah,
okay.
You failed your luck check. Make me a spot hidden. Fernando didn't see it. Fernando's like this. He's just kind of like this. He's probably got his sombrero pulled real low. He's probably got his hands covering his ears. He doesn't even want to hear this
No,
shit.
he doesn't have his hands covering his
Okay.
his
How'd you do? Did you make it, Isabella?
I literally got right on 46.
That's a success, yeah.
That's nice.
The two of you do see somebody after the door. The two gentlemen both heard the clang of the door closing, and on the far side of the cemetery, my assumption is, if you look at the map, that you two guys were kind of near the entrance to the cemetery, but there's no wall around it or anything, just gravestones. And then Miss Eldridge went towards the center of the cemetery. Good place to do this. What Miss Eldridge and what Alonzo see is on the far side of the cemetery, on this end, on this side, on the west side of the cemetery, somebody kind of jumps up and just starts running away. Like panicked flight is the impression that you get. He or she is far enough away, although it doesn't appear that they're wearing a dress, is far enough away that you can't make out their features. You can't hear their footsteps. They probably did not hear this conversation. They probably just, but they are within. They saw something. You cannot see who the figure is. Likely they can't. None of you had lights. Likely they could not see any of you clearly either. But they are running, almost due west. It looks like they don't look like they're going to the what the hell's the name of this farm? To the Brown farm, which is nearby. They're just running as hard as they can, kind of in a westerly direction.
I'm trying to look at the map.
I'm gonna run in that direction too. I want to see if I can catch up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're both running in the dark. Let's have each of you make a dex check.
There it is.
He made it. He got a hard success.
I got a regular success.
You got a regular success. Okay, so you chase him.
Wait. I got a.
Are you
I got
running?
a hard also.
Are you running after him, Isabella?
Yes.
Okay. He runs to the edge of the field to your west. You guys are maintaining distance. Nobody's tripped and fallen, and he's angling towards the woods that are up there. Let me have con checks from everybody. I don't have stats for this guy, so I'm just giving him pretty average. That's a hard success for him.
Ooh, nuts! I failed by 1.
Oh, it's all that opium.
Very bad.
Probably.
Okay, so you both kind of have to slow your run to catch your breath, and he runs into those woods. Shaeder, you've been here long enough. Actually, so has Miss Eldridge, and definitely Fernando, to know that there is
Fernando didn't see any of it, so
you just saw your friends just take off running.
I rolled 100 to see even if they took off.
Oh, you rolled 100? Okay.
Wow.
Fernando's just like, I don't hear any screaming, and
Yeah, and then like maybe at some point
I should
time,
go.
he looks up and everyone's
just
you know?
gone. Yes, okay, I like that. The two of you both know that there is a Quaalude village inside that copse of woods. It's not really a whole village. It's probably about 30 or 40, maybe 50 Quaalude live in there, separate but part of the town.
Hmm.
And whoever it was just disappeared into those woods.
Okay, so maybe they live there. Perhaps.
I'm gonna
Or
go
they're
back. Well, I'm gonna go back to where they were, or follow. Basically, if I'm not gonna catch them, and I'm gonna try see if I can find any kind of an impression or a footprint left.
Sure, give me a track. Oh, it's going to be a penalty die unless you want to make some light.
I will make a light at this point. I
Okay.
don't care.
Yeah, you've probably got matches or something. You can use those.
You know I've got matches.
Yeah, definitely has.
How
I
much
didn't even
smoking
see him
do I
light
do?
this torch or whatever he's lighting.
You look around.
I
No,
failed.
you'll see
I
light.
failed.
You don't have to make it. You didn't make it?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any actual points in tracking. Take a shot.
You're looking around the area of the gravestone you're pretty certain is where he came from. And you can see prints. Somebody was here. For why you're not sure.
The reason that I thought of it was, if he's Quaalude, is he might be wearing a different kind of footwear.
Yes, and you're not sure because you failed that track roll.
Yeah.
You just see that it's pressed down, like somebody was here. So this is definitely the
All right,
gravestone.
I'm gonna head over to Shaeder and see what
He's
he's
lighting
looking at.
matches and he's kind of looking at the ground.
Yeah.
Miss Eldridge, did you
where
follow
did
Shaeder back?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what happened? What are you looking for?
There was
There was
a
somebody
man here.
here.
He ran away.
Oh. Can I
What?
make a track roll?
Yes. If Shaeder continues to light light matches to try to illuminate the area, yeah.
Regular success.
Yes. Moccasins.
Oh yeah, yes. Someone wearing moccasins was standing here.
They were sitting here
All right.
first,
Oh, okay.
They were
yeah,
sitting,
sitting here first.
they
Yeah,
got
so
up,
I'm relaying all
and
this.
then they ran. Who's got low luck? Give me a low luck check. I need low luck.
I
got
think Alonzo
35.
and I are tied. Oh, I'm 45. All right.
35, please, Alonzo.
So I guess it's me then.
Yeah.
That is the fewest luck.
See if there's yet one last clue.
No. Should I have
Okay.
increased my luck at any point, by the way?
No.
If you
I have
roll, you can. If you roll what, an extreme success or
No, that's incorrect. If you roll an 01 on a luck check, you have a chance of your power going up.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
No,
Okay.
since we don't do
I was
spending
confused
luck,
with
then it stays the same. It doesn't move around.
Okay.
So no.
Well, then no, I fail.
Yeah, there's nothing else that you can find in the area that might give any kind of indication of who that might have been.
Well, I think
Okay.
the fact that where his choice of footwear and where he went, pretty
Yeah.
good clue as to who he was.
It's probably a Quaalude.
Should we? Is it safe to go in there in the forest at night? Or I'm curious who this was and what they saw.
It's never really safe to go into any forest. Is it?
No, you know the
Yeah.
Quaalude have some dogs.
True.
You know they have dogs in there.
All right.
You don't.
Yeah.
It's no more dangerous than visiting any other like subdivision of a village. You don't think?
Right.
Although in the middle of the night,
But at night though.
at midnight,
that.
you chose midnight. So
Yeah.
Let's
at
do
midnight,
that in
probably
the
not.
daylight.
Yeah, probably better to go in there during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we go back tomorrow and
Yeah.
I don't
We'll-
know, take a stroll
We'll-
around those woods?
They will
We
just
could-
deny whatever you accuse them of.
We could just take a little walk around and see if anyone maybe
Okay.
recognizes us and gives us weird looks or something. You never know.
Point is, we
I
can
think
go
you'll
tomorrow
get
and
weird
ask.
looks from them regardless.
Okay.
Maybe.
If
So-
they tell us nothing, they tell us nothing. It costs us nothing to ask.
Yeah.
So somebody
I think
write
the
it if you
result
guys think you're going to do that, or somebody write it down so that you can
Yeah.
remember to do it next time. Shaeder, are you going to stay up most of the night reading again and try to finish the Magus? The Magus?
I think so, yeah.
Great. So we're going to mark you as having read it. +7 to your occult, by the way, from reading that book.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
Um,
nice.
it it does have the one spell. There's no Cthulhu mythos connected to the Magus. Um, let's
So
see.
do I add a spell to my list then?
Uh,
Not that I have a list.
you don't know how to cast
No.
it. You're going to have to study it first to try to figure that out, and that'll take a certain amount of time. But if you want to try to study the spell and figure out how to do actually with the seance, yeah, just add it. Add command ghost via seance. You still have to cast it the first time, but you know the spell.
Okay.
And then let's see, read by Alonzo Shaeder. Yep, that's what you get.
Okay.
And unlike Cthulhu Mythos tomes, this is an occult book, so there's no real number to use for study. So you're spending most of the night awake and are probably not getting to bed till the wee hours of the morning again.
Yeah.
The
So I
other
gain
three
points
of
in the cult.
yeah, 7 points. That's a solid. It's a solid little book. The other three of you
Yeah.
can each make me a power check.
So not me.
No, you're up most of the night, and when you would have had to make the power check, you are still awake.
Yep.
So
I failed.
you fail. Good. All right.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
somebody's good. So Lauren has
I will say this,
Isabella,
though.
did you fail or succeed?
Yeah.
Fail.
Fail. Everybody has a
For
dream
me-
that night.
Fernando never met the Wizard Wilkes, or never.
Right.
Okay.
You don't know what he looks
Yeah.
like. Isabella doesn't know what he looks like except from her dream. Actually,
Yeah,
it's
I guess I
not.
didn't see a picture
It's
either.
weird. It looks like
Never
a room. You have a dream about a room. There's a little girl sleeping in a bed, and something mosquitoes are coming in through the window. Actually, sorry, let's retro that. A man's hand comes and pushes the mosquito
window
netting
aside.
aside, and then all these mosquitoes start coming in. Like you've never seen this many mosquitoes. Hundreds, thousands of them swarm
Swarming,
into the room.
yeah.
And they kind of disappear. It's a dream. It's kind of weird. But a moment later, a figure, you can't make out what it looks like, but it's just a shadow, comes out of a corner of the room. And it looks down at this little girl that's on the bed. And then it backs away back into the corner. And then moments later, the mosquitoes, which you'd lost track of, all like swarm out of this corner, and they all land on this little girl. And they just start biting her. Like
Engulfing
all
her.
over.
We
Like,
lose-
yeah,
lose
there's like
sight of her.
thousands of them. And she seems to struggle in her sleep. And the three of you can each make a spot hidden. And then the mosquitoes
Oh.
retreat, leaving her covered in bites.
Okay, just a hard success.
Hard success for Fernando, and Loren also noticed. And you recognize
Oh,
that.
for me that was an extreme.
Okay, you recognize the little girl is Bridget Strong.
Yep.
And then the mosquitoes fly back out of the building, leaving her there.
Oh shit.
That's where we're going to end
And Loren had that dream
tonight.
too?
Loren,
Yep.
all three of you had the dream. The only one who didn't was Shaeder, who
Oh.
stayed up all night reading. So the three of you had this
Loren's gonna be
dream.
fucked up tomorrow. That's some
Uh,
witchcraft.
it's just a dream. Uh,
Witchcraft, it's witchcraft.
so yeah. So questions. Yeah, that's where we'll wrap up. Shaeder, very quickly. Questions, comments, suggestions, criticisms. Favorite thing, least favorite thing.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
Sorry, I was a bit late.
Oh, that's okay.
Me-
The stuff that
me-
happened
we're all
before you
fine.
got here was little stuff that didn't actually concern Shaeder. So that's why I just kept going when you got here.
Okay. That works.
Stuff people were doing around the town. Jimenez, Aaron, FrogDog59. Favorite, least favorite, or question, comment, suggestion, criticism? We'll do this very quickly.
I'm trying to think.
Also, I do like you bringing in Barrett and the Magus. Nice touch. I was halfway tempted to use him at some point.
Dude,
But maybe I'll lay off that.
the Cthulhu Compendium, the one that came out in the 90s, has tons of
Ah.
occult books, and I love pulling from those. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't think of. I don't know. I can't think of anything. I had fun though. So that's my comment.
That
I had
works. Miss Eldridge,
fun.
Ultraviolet. Question, comments,
yeah.
suggestions, criticisms, favorite thing, least favorite thing. You didn't like
I
that
feel
ghoul.
like there was a lot. I feel like there was a lot that happened with me this time, and Hutton, mostly, I guess. It was good. It was good. I like the stuff about Trudy's. I like the stuff about the books.
I like you
Obviously,
sharing the books.
last part-
I liked you sharing those books. I really like that a
Yeah.
lot,
Yeah.
actually. Kind of starting to
I'm really
spread out.
trying to do the things I have wanted to do for a long time. Like, I'm trying to remember to do it.
Well, this list I think helped too. This is the
What?
list that you sent me.
Oh, you printed it?
Yeah, I just printed it out, put it in a text file, and printed it out real quick so I would have it. And I made
Cool.
some notes to myself about some stuff on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Maybe I'll keep doing that.
do it.
Yeah, it helped me because I was looking at it a couple times too. So
Yep, adjust your list.
Open,
Send it
Good.
again. Okay, Lauren
when,
Hutton.
when playing a horror game and the door to the room opens on its own, it get a little weirded out.
Oh, your door opened by itself?
Yeah.
in real life,
Well, okay, yes.
Watch
in
out
real
for
life.
mosquitoes.
Although, no, it was actually a cat.
Oh,
I was gonna
okay.
say,
Okay.
it sounds like a cat to me.
Oh yeah, the door
I mean-
opened on its own, and then just his desk is at the corner, and then
Oh,
about
yeah.
10 seconds later, the cat stuck his head around the corner.
If y'all ever see anybody
it.
walk up these stairs behind me and I don't notice, please tell me.
I always
Okay.
wonder about that, looking at people's backgrounds and stuff,
Mhm.
and because like I've seen videos where there's like something happens
Somebody
in
in
the
a
background.
mask comes up the stairs.
So if a bottle just starts floating behind me, yeah.
So was that it
There's
for
not a-
Miss
there's not a
Eldridge?
cat involved.
Did you have anything else, Ultraviolet?
I
Ultraviolet?
wanted Ada. I called Ada.
Yes, you called Ada,
specifically.
but the spell does not allow you to specify a ghoul.
The spell is
So-
contact
You
ghoul,
should have
not
told me
contact
that.
It's
specific
contact ghoul. It's
Yep,
one you
it's
don't.
contact
That, it
ghoul.
doesn't say that anywhere where you learned the spell.
Right.
Or
Yeah, but
Ada
Ada
didn't tell
said-
you. Ada said when you were there in
Yeah.
Granite, if you call me, I'll come. That was in Granite. That's like 1,000
Yeah,
miles
exactly.
away. So obviously she was
Well-
hanging out and waiting around for you to call her so she could come murder whoever killed your friend or whatever needed to be done.
I assumed she was like magical enough that she could show up anywhere.
Nope. No.
That's the impression I got.
That was, and you got a ghoul, and you didn't bring him
I wasn't
anything to
asking
be
that.
like,
I'm
hey,
curious who
here's
saw
a
this.
leg, here's a rotten leg. Here, can you help me out? And he was not.
Oh, how the hell am I
pleased.
gonna get a dead body?
That I don't know. How are you gonna get a dead body?
I was thinking one of the people who died of that
Wait.
disease, although
There's always the funeral parlor. Maybe you could talk to one of those funeral parlor men. There's Mr. Caesar
Yeah.
King and there's Mr. Dempsey, the newer funeral
Oh,
parlor.
Mr.
Oh no,
Callum
you don't know
Dempsey.
you don't know he's newer. He's a white man. You have probably learned that there is a Negro in the vernacular of the time who owned it, and that he is partners with a white man.
in the Undertaker's office or
Yes,
whatever.
the Undertakers, and they do not embalm corpses in this town at this time. They put them in the ground as quick as they can.
Well, I mean, I guess I might have to do some grave robbing then.
Could.
Mm.
You got to find a fresh one. There's also if you want to go this route, you have heard, and it's been mentioned in the newspaper, the Prospector Cemetery, which is up near the infirmary where they've been burying the people who've been dying of the mosquito sickness. So,
right, I think
those
those
are
would
fresher.
be the most recent ones.
Yeah, you can actually find
Did
out
the
when
ghoul mention? I may have missed this, but did he mention something about a dirty body is not good?
dirty.
Did I hear that right?
No,
I
no,
thought I
no.
heard
He
that
just
one.
wants something that's at least a week dead.
Yeah.
So he
And
doesn't
not like
care if it's
6 months
disease?
dead, because that's too dead and the flesh is not even there anymore hardly. He wants a meal. He's hungry.
So I don't get the impression he cares if it's diseased or not.
He didn't mention anything about diseased flesh or anything
Okay.
like that. So
That seems easier to get one of those then. Not that I'd actually.
it's
maybe I
further
shouldn't
away.
start some-
It's a
dangerous.
mile or so, or a mile or two away. You'd have to haul the body back to this graveyard.
Also,
Or you could cast the spell up at that graveyard and hope you get the same ghoul too.
Oh god, I don't know. I might just abandon this
That's fine.
because I'll have to cast the spell again, right?
You will have to cast the
Okay.
spell. He said that he would be here tomorrow night. He said no, he told you be here tomorrow night. So
So
you got
I don't
20.
have to cast a spell again.
You don't think
if
so?
I
You think
do
that
that.
he's going to come back? Because if you're willing to give him some meat, he's willing to probably say, "All right, I'll do your little errand for you." He's probably not going to kill the Wizard Wilkes, but he'll do something for you, as long as it's some good rotten meat.
You can't just eat a deer.
Delish. Ain't the same. Ain't even close to the same.
Yeah.
Okay, Loren Hutton. Questions, comments, suggestions, criticisms, favorite part, least favorite part.
I don't want to go insane.
I know, you're so close.
I am so freaking close.
You shouldn't have skimmed that book. Don't skim the Necronomicon. I'll warn you
Yeah.
there right now.
Oh,
Good advice. Just saying.
Yeah, but that was a
Yeah.
good game. That was fun. Moved a little slower than I like, but I was wanting to give you guys a lot of time to feel out, figure out what to do. We're still not done with Wilkes. God damn it. I was hoping that would get resolved tonight, but that's fine.
yeah, I'm really worried that Loren Hutton's not going to survive this.
He might not. Then they have to deal with Dempsey, that jackass.
Yep.
And Dempsey is not cool. I mean, he's cool, but he's not cool. You know what I mean?
He's not a good person.
No, he's not a good person. Maybe that's who they need. Who knows? I'm hoping Loren needs to not read any more Cthulhu Mythos tomes
No, he needs to
and
stop.
try to avoid seeing any of the weirdness so that he
Yep.
doesn't completely lose his mind.
You need to really try to take a break and really recover his sanity
Go
purposefully.
back to Chicago.
No, well, wherever his meaningful place is at, and really work on recovering his sanity.
Well, the problem is you got to make a sanity check to get points
know.
back, and that becomes very complicated and hard to do when you're at 6
Six.
sanity.
Sanity.
Poor
yeah.
Loren.
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue,
Hey,
isn't it?
Yeah,
You know-
reading a
you know
Mythos
the
tome
bright
was a
side,
terrible
though?
idea for you because you don't
You
get
know
a
the
roll.
bright side of that, though, Sean? At least there wasn't a yellow sign involved.
All right, so we're gonna end the stream. Thanks anybody who came by and watched. Thanks for everybody who's still here, and we'll see you hopefully in 2 weeks.
Well, I'll see some of you next week, I believe.
Yes, definitely. Bye, everybody.
And some of you in 2 weeks' time.
Bye.